All right, YouTube cubes. Apologize for a bit of a delay here getting started. Binary, hello, welcome. How do I make this go away? There we go. All right, mic's working, show is up, awesome. Means, yay. We are doing Guild Wars 2. We're going to go over content. We're going to look at some things. It's the first Guild Wars 2 show of the year. The last one was December 12th, so it's been over a month. So much so that there's a lot to go over, in a sense, but not a lot to go over. Because content is sort of in the present, but not really. There's things happening every week, is what I'm trying to say. And that kind of stuff. So we're just going to look at it all, what's changed, some new stuff. We're going to look at the Black Lion chest, double check Black Lion weapons too. Why not? Just go over all that kind of stuff. Let me bring the game up. Why not? Like and subscribe. I'm an ArenaNet partner. I got links below if you want to support me too. Know anybody who needs the game or wants to try the game, that kind of stuff. I would appreciate it, but go support me. My character. Dang, she looking good. Alright. This also means that tomorrow, so you haven't been watching, we've been doing Elden Ring. So this sort of breaks up. We did seven parts of Elden Ring now. So we're about 50 hours of Elden Ring. Our outfit is fire. Yeah, I can't wait to see what the precursor armor is for the Obsidian armor, which will be in the next major update. Legendary stuff is coming in the next major update. I think the weapon proficiencies as well, if I remember right. So we're going to get that. All that kind of stuff. Let's just get in the game so we can talk about what's going on now. So today's January 19th, 2024. There's also another thing that ANET has given us, and that is a calendar on their website, I'm pretty sure. Hard to find things. Or it disappeared. Let me grab that. There's an event calendar now, so
I'm not sure about
if you want to know what's going on with Guild Wars 2, I don't know why I closed it, because I'm going to need help with that. Yeah, I'll put that in chat, and then I will reopen that closed tab because I'm not a moron. So right now we got 20% off of some Black Lion chest items, bank tab expansions, and permanent lounge passes are 20% off, it looks like, until January 15th. Oh, that's gone. The World vs. World Rush event is going... just ended. It just ended, but the beta is happening until February 2nd. So, right now, we are going into the second week of the beta, and going into the second week, we can actually change... we can change things. We can change, what am I thinking of? The guild that you're going into and things like that. So I'm going to guess the last week people are going to switch and that kind of thing to test things out. So other than that, I did not get in the beta except for last Friday just because we've been so busy with some other things, which is why today's show is so late getting started. But I'm glad I was able to get it in. But yeah, cool stuff. It's like 20% off. Happening now, 20% off shared inventory slots until January 30th is what it's saying. But that events calendar has some other things. There's a PvP Rush event happening from January 23rd to the 30th. There's probably going to be Astral Acclaim and things like that. I purposely avoided doing the weekly stuff so we could have this show. So I can show you just like sort of the rewards they're giving and that kind of thing. Last week was World vs. World Rush, which also had some things. It was not hard to do. I was able to do it within 2 hours after the beta started and that kind of thing. So very easy to do and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot going on. January 30th, skills and balance update will be very interesting. I'm not going to go over all of those piece by piece. There's videos already covering it out there. I'm guaranteed Muckluck has some thoughts. Guaranteed Mighty Pod has some thoughts. Guaranteed the entire community has some thoughts. Visit the forums if you want to see some of that. I mean, it is what it is when people have their opinions and that kind of thing. But, yeah. You will love looking at other people's legendary armor. So, yeah. Yeah, me too. No, just kidding. We're gonna touch on that a little bit later about legendary armor and that kind of thing. The other thing we're just gonna grab right now is to look at the Black Lion chest, because those did change more recently. Looks like they brought back the Jackal pups, which makes the minis cheaper and things like that. And then it looks like the Red Cane skins are in there, which I have all of them. And then the magical skins are in there. So they're the ones that, where's the, not the focus. So these weapons, you know, magical girl, what they really are. So, you know, I think it shows like Sailor Moon and that kind of thing. Where's the shield? Why am I dumb? Give you more of an idea here. Very playing to a very specific crowd here, but those are in there too. Those were pretty expensive. We also have the Glyph of Industry and the Glyph of Flight. Very meh glyphs. Elderwood, Advanced Cloth Rack, Mining Node, and Lotus. This is very meh too. So overall, the chests this time around aren't the greatest. I was thinking about opening some today, but it just, because I'm more interested in these things. So this is the back piece, my dies. So you're not seeing some of the effects here and things like that because of my die choice. But yeah, and then there's a glider attached to that. And then that chair, the birds, is there. It's still in there if you want to get those uncommon items. Other than that, I don't think the chest is very worth opening this time around. We'll see what happens in the next change. So, Galka, hello, welcome. Trying to think there's something else with that. No. We'll see if there's weapons or something here in a moment. But, yeah, look at this inventory. You may be going, Zorik, why haven't you opened all these unidentified gear? Because they build up so fast. Reminds me, I need to grab some of these. I don't. I need to grab the merchant stuff. So, do that really quick while I'm thinking about it, because I keep forgetting when I do my dailies. I've sort of backed off of Guild Wars 2 this year. Did the reverse of what I said I wanted to do. I feel like I'm not playing enough of other video games, which sounds weird, but the way the content is going to be released, it's very predictable when it's going to be released and things like that. So that's why we're doing Elden Ring. I'm playing through the Final Fantasy series and then getting delayed on certain things because of it, because copyright issues. But for the most part, we are so many days away from the next major update, which we can actually look at. If we go into the special tab, we'll see in about 39 days is the next update, which is about 5 weeks away. So if I go in here, go to next Tuesday and subtract off 4 of those days, because it's going to land on a Tuesday no matter what, we can go ahead and look at that. So we got 1, 2, 3, towards the end of February, it looks like. So my guess is that the Lunar New Year is going to happen February 6th. So February 6th, we're going to get the Lunar New Year. That's my speculation. That is not confirmed anywhere as far as I can tell. But February 6th, Lunar New Year, that's going to go for its 3-week period. And then we're going to have the update at the end of February. But we'll see what where the numbers actually hit. We have that extra day in February this year. It's a leap year, so a little bit of extra time in February, which is always nice because then it extends content we can do. So there it is. Also, 15 Tier 3 rifts. So there's more Astral Acclaim events that have happened. If you notice, I haven't got them done. That's because if you've been doing your dailies and your weeklies and that kind of thing, I do my weeklies and stuff over the weekends now, pretty much on Sundays, like the very last day. But I'm not too worried about it because I have bought out everything that's important. Now, there's some Ascended things I can pull out and grab some, research notes and that kind of thing. I'll think about it because this is going to build up and we have 5 weeks. So I may end up grabbing the 1,800 acclaim worth of Ascended armor. Don't need the luck, don't need the transmutation charges. Dear God, I don't. So the only other thing I'll do, don't need Avi shards at all. I have 2416 out of 2500. Those are building up faster than I can get rid of them. The only thing I can think to do is probably just make some Mystic Clovers for the future. But yeah. But looking at an Astral Acclaim, if you've kept up on everything, you should have already bought this out. And the reason why I say it that way is because I have not done everything. I could already have the 500 here, and these are all worth 50, plus the 450 here. So I'm trying to think what else I bought. That'd be that 500, 700, 800, 900, 950, 450. So it's pretty close. I think I wouldn't be able to get the 600 one yet. I'd be a little bit short by 500 or something like that. So still would be a little bit short, but that would be done next week, right? So the weapon chest would still be a little bit out of reach, but I could have all the armor things done. So just talking about what's in here, can you buy out everything in the store? Yes. You know, the second time around, even more so because they keep adding more and more to the special tab and the weekly things, which we now need to talk about. So I've been seeing a lot of the tier 3 rips and things like that. They're pretty lucrative. I've been seeing those in the new map a lot because they're very quick to get to. You go from one to the next and the next to the next. And we need the currency. That's the other thing I've been working on the new map, because the next update's going to have legendary armor. So I have been working on a little bit of map currency in the new map for those calcified gas. I have the 1500 that I need. If you notice, the other ones are built up. That's because of the world versus world reward tracks. And then when I usually need to do a rift for the daily, I just go to the base map. So, but pretty much this right here, it's not going to be a problem. The major currency is found in the bank, which I should probably go to really quick. Talk about currency. So I stopped selling stuff too. Sprockets dropped in price, that kind of thing. I'm pretty loaded on materials at this point. I have 118 Mystic Clovers, which again, later today, we're going to be going over legendary armor and what I need. So it's not a whole lot. Looking at just the passive stuff for End of Dragons, I got a bunch of writs here that I can use for favors. I got 130 antique summoning stones. I got 113 jade rune stones just sitting there. I think for jade and that kind of stuff. Where that hides. Further down? Further down. Yeah, I've been selling that. You don't need a lot of petrified Echovolt resin, that kind of thing. Just built up. A lot of stuff is built up. Also, the lumps of mithrilium I was doing, that kind of stuff, that's all built up. This is just stuff over time, but stuff to talk about. I have the 72 amalgamated Cryptus essences that I need for the legendary armor. Should I need more of them, that's okay. I'm already building up, just accidentally already building up some more essences for more in the future. Now, I could go ahead and farm up as much tier 2 and tier 3. Right now, tier 3 is probably the thing you could farm, since you need that special. You need 15 tier 3 rifts. So you can bring boxes and easily get more than enough than you'll need for 2 sets of armor, probably, depending on how many you get. And that kind of stuff right now if you want to farm it up. But what I'm focusing on now is making sure I have enough of the captured lightning, the pouches of stardust, or at least the map currency to convert. You need 250 for each of these. You can also do the meta, and then I've been working on congealed screams. I think I had 1 or 2 of these from when we did the content, so I'm up to 9. Not hard to do. The meta is really fast to get to. You can get that done, and then I'm able to collect at least 250 of the calcified gas. So I'm getting that done for legendary armor. Just touching upon that because this thinking daily stuff, I'm at 119 chunks of ancient ambergris. That's just converting fish to ambergris. Not really doing the fishing anymore, any of that kind of stuff. I pulled way back from the game. I'm not even doing my alt accounts. My gold is sort of lower than it should be and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm swimming in tier 6 materials, at least 2 stacks of each right now. Probably, maybe you're going to need more, but the other thing is I have tons of volatile magic, that kind of thing. If we need gold, I know how to get it. It's all there. Like mystic coins, I have 408 mystic coins, 879 globs of ectoplasm. I forget how much ecto I'm going to need, but none of it looks too far out of reach. So, the Highness, hello. Tons of obby shards. Like I was saying, I might just end up converting some of the mystic coins. Those have shot up in price because of legendary weapons from the Astral Acclaim. So people need those mystic clovers. So people back in the day were going, oh, mystic coin prices are going to go up. But the only reason they have gone up is because people are hoarding the mystic coins now for those legendary weapons, and they're making legendary weapons. And this is how they keep the price of those legendary weapons from the store. If you have not seen those, there's... where did I put mine? There's the legendary starter kits here. So you can make Quip and Meteorology kits and all that kind of stuff. And there's like, you know, you can look up which one's the most valuable. People are just selling these weapons. So that's how the price of them sustain. So if we go into the trading post really quick and we look up bolts, you can see it's at 1,600 gold, which is not too hard to get to if you know how to farm gold and things like that. Buy price is a bit lower. You can get it probably for 1,400 pretty easily. People want to make a good chunk of money. So about 1,600 and 1,635 there. A lot of them on the trading post, 62 of them still here, that kind of stuff. So every time that
my time is precious.
the Wizard's Vault's going to switch over, if they keep introducing these things, the legendaries will get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper depending. So they brought some of them back multiple times here. I think you can make Quip twice. So those are there too. Bifrost was the other one I saw. Just touch upon that. That one's going to be a little more expensive because I think there's only one. We're also late into the season, so if you've been patient, you can get a little more out of it. Depending. Also, material price and that kind of stuff could push the price up. So Mystic Coins are keeping them from completely like just dropping under 1,000 gold and things like that. And I'm pretty sure that's planned from ArenaNet. And some people are like, it's so hard to get Mystic Clovers. Not really, because the store itself for the Astral Acclaim provides you with a good chunk of them. So like you can get the Mystic Clovers and the Mystic Coins and even the Obby Shards from the store itself. Just for Astral Acclaim. Astral Acclaim has no value except for what you buy with it, which sounds weird, but that's actually how currency works in the real world. The value of $1 depends on how strong the economy is towards that dollar. So if someone thinks it costs $50 to buy a pair of scissors and it only costs $100 to buy a car, it affects the overall value of the currency, right? So if a car has a lot more value, that $50 for a pair of scissors is going to drop really fast. People aren't going to buy the scissors, they'll buy the car because it has better value. And things like that. So overall, you could say Astral Acclaim is worth so much gold in the game, but at the end of the day, it's what you need. And since you can earn it just passively or even go after it and things like that, and it doesn't take long. You can get your weeklies done in an hour if you know what you're doing. You can get your dailies done in 5 minutes if you have have certain ones and things like that. I will stop doing the vestibule daily. I'm done doing that one. It takes far too long. I'm not going to spend 20 to 40 minutes trying to get that one done, looking for the totems and stuff. It's pretty lucrative in the sense of what you get out of it, but it's not enough gold per hour to make it worth anything, even for the like 20 astral acclaim. It's just not worth it. I will do the other dailies and grab the bonus chests. It's just better gold per hour that way. I just wish those dungeons weren't in there. In all honesty, I think the mini dungeons should be something else. I'd rather they force you go and craft something or gather materials for the economy than to spend a bunch of time trying to get through something, which a lot of people are just cheesing anyways. I wish they would do more jumping puzzles, the easier ones instead of the mini dungeons. I understand people need to get the mini dungeons done, but I wish those were sort of a weekly thing. Then the vestibule for sure should be weekly, because it takes about, I think it's 5 times what it takes to do. So 5 days worth of dailies for one event in a daily is a bit much. And if you see that 5 number there, so if it takes 5 times longer time-wise than what you could do for the dailies, that means it's a weekly. I just don't understand how it ended up in the daily rotation, but it's not worth doing even for the Astral Acclaim unless you absolutely need the Astral Acclaim for something you've crunched. So, Diplomat, hello. More Elden Ring will come tomorrow. It will happen tomorrow. But today I just need to do Guild Wars 2 because I want to and I need to, and what we do here. It's what we can't let go of. There will always be Guild Wars 2. It'll always be there. But yeah, more Elden Ring will happen tomorrow, noon Central Standard Time. The show will be scheduled later tonight, before I get into World vs. World, hopefully. So you'll see that up. Don't worry, we'll be back in Elden Ring starting tomorrow. I'll take Sunday off, and then all next week is scheduled Elden Ring. Actually beating the game next week is what's scheduled. So we're going to be playing, starting tomorrow, we're playing story bosses, whatever those are, sort of trying to figure out how to beat the game. Right now I've just been running around in open world, so yeah. Good times though. I really enjoy playing Elden Ring, ridiculously as it is, Dark Souls and that kind of stuff, so it's not going anywhere. Anyways, back to Guild Wars 2. Yeah. So anyways, with the weeklies and the specials, there's other ways to earn acclaim, and that is through your achievement panel. Bonus events, daily return to Season 1, return to Season 1. So there are these dailies that give you extra boxes and karma and that kind of stuff, like the Tower of Nightmares, the Marionette, the Battle for Lion's Arch. These weeklies are to get that content repopulated, so those who need to get it done or looking to get extra achievements done and that kind of stuff, the population will be there. The daily Battle for Lion's Arch, I forget exactly. Yeah, you got to beat the trio, but I think you can do it 3 times or something, or you have to hit 3 events. I can't remember. Complete 3 events in the Tower of Nightmares, but I can't remember. Somebody said something about this one to me, and they asked me a question, but I didn't know the answer to it, and I still don't. But I think if you just do this one once a day, you'll get this. But with the Marionette, this one, and this one, it's 15 champ bags and a swig of liquid karma, which is not much karma at all. It's some. You'll probably earn more from doing the events than what that gives you, if I remember right. It's only 5,000 something. But anyways, though, the actual return to it will give you 3 Mystic Coins. This is how ANET's going to do this kind of reward. They give Mystic Coins in these weekly events to help the economy not go out of control with Mystic Coins. Of course, people are going to hoard them, so the price is going to continue to sort of rise, but it has sort of plateaued. And you'll always see that with Mystic Coins. It's the way it works. But Mystic Coin prices, I think, were projected at this point. The amount of Mystic Coins that have come in and out, had that just been the influx of Mystic Coins coming into the game, I believe Mystic Coins right now were projected to be like 91 silver. So that just gives you an idea of just how many Mystic Coins are actually coming into the game from alt accounts or whatever. It's a lot. It's a lot of them. So the legendary weapons, you know, a lot of people were worried about that and the prices of those. But they use so many for Mystic Clovers, and people are using the Mystic Coins for other things that, you know, ANET can reward these, and they're actually still a great reward because you'll either need them or you get to sell them for the gold. The other reward in here is the Coffer, the Lions Champion. There's an account-bound reward in there. I actually don't know. Coffer of the Lions Champion. But if I wiki it, I can tell you what's inside there. Yeah, it's the Might of the Lions Champion stuff. There's a Masked Lions Champion. Lions Champion's weapon skins. You can buy them on the trading post. Did not know. Buy them all, they cost a legendary weapon. 15,035. So we can actually look at that. Hold on. I didn't know they were sellable. So they have been introducing skins like this with the festival. So this is the Great Sword, right? No, this is just the sword? Well done. What? Look at that. Dang. But this is why we need to go over this stuff. There's a bunch of skins sort of being thrown into the game. And they look pretty great. So my thing with this is the fact that I don't think these aren't coming back, is that these events will come back over time. They'll keep just adding new weekly, and eventually I think they're going to be 52 weekly events a year. That's how I think, or, you know, maybe not during the festivals, who knows. So there will always be content. That one's a little weak, I'll be honest. The staff here, a little weak. 550 gold, though. What? Ooh, look at that. That is a dagger. The Roar is the most expensive. That. But anyhow, if you can't afford these things like that, eventually the price of them will probably come down.
How may I be of service?
What the heck is this? It's a mini. Oh. It's a, whatchamacallit, just tied to the top of the rifle. These are designed pretty well. I really like the look of them. A hammer. That's a freaking hammer. This looks like a hammer that already exists. There's like a Lion's Arch skin already of like the hammer is just two lion heads on both sides. And it looks like somebody took that design and added a bit more to it, the little Wayfarer's stuff to it. So sort of remind me of the Zodiac weapons, just with no effect. So I wonder if in the future we might be able to upgrade these. That would be cool too. You know, I say that, but will I ever have time to do all this stuff? No, I just don't. After we're going on what, 12 years now of Guild Wars 2, I just don't have time. I got other things to play. I'm getting behind on video games, you know? We're playing Elden Ring a year after it came out or more, you know? Other things are scheduled this year that I just haven't had time for. Just games that I should have played and at least played through and stuff like that. That's why we have the request stuff on the Discord and things now. It's just games I need to look at, people are interested in. Trying to keep up with the more not Guild Wars 2 stuff. That is the Great Sword. Dang, but this sword, man, almost as big as that. But anyways, I didn't know you could buy those on the trading post. I thought they were just going to be... What is this? Oh. Got that again? I got an achievement point? Would have thought doing that. But anyways, there's the daily stuff there, but then there's like fractals you can do. Now, the fractal rewards inside of here, some people are like 15 fractal relics. The idea behind that isn't to bombard you with a bunch of rewards here. The idea is that you're going after, I think, a number of events here. One of them, I think you just go to Lion's Arch. And I haven't done it yet, so we can go and do this thing. Where is it? Where's the thing I'm looking for? Fractal Gate. Let me go to Lion's Arch really quick. I don't know where Ellen Keel is, but we're going to have to find her. And I'm pretty sure you only have to do 8 of these, and they're pretty simple because you can do them tier 1 fractals. There was a male. Show me. What the frick? Really? It's all the way out there? What is it talking about? What is it talking about? Is she all the way out there? He's on the bridge? Game is messing with me right now. Now, is she seriously just sitting on a bridge? Am I missing something? Where is she? That is not a waypoint. I see it. I see it. It's on the mini map, but it's like invisible because of the layering. ANET, please, come on. They're going through that. So, anyways, by doing that, you see, I got one of them done, all the way down here. And then I can do a story mission from Season 1. Somebody said there was a really easy one to do. And then any of this. So if you do the Twisted Marionette, those daily ones, the Lion's Arch, the Tower of Nightmares, I thought was in here. Why can I not see it? Oh, it's right here. Jesus. So you do the Tower of Nightmares. You just have to complete events on some of these maps. Gendarn Fields, Kessex Hills, right? And then fractals, you can do 5 events in Diessa Plateau. So pretty easy to do to get those rewards. The idea is to repopulate the maps and the content and that kind of thing. Everybody will choose. If you're not confident in fractals or doing the harder things as the list goes down, you don't actually have to do the jumping puzzle for this one, I don't think. I don't remember. I don't think you do. I think it's towards the bottom. But anyways, the point is, this stuff you can pick and choose and that kind of thing. But I'll be honest, the fractal things in here for the weekly, like the Molten Boss, Mitrin and stuff, there's been a power creep that's been going on for a very long time. So these fractals at tier 1, pretty easy to do. Molten Furnace is actually great for your wallet. Trying to look at any of the other fractal ones. Etherplate fractal, but I saw Thermanova in there, right? Yeah, that fractal, pretty easy. But even doing the marionette and stuff, people have this stuff down. They farm it every day, so if you get there after reset especially, or during your prime time for whatever your time zone is, pretty easy to get it done. The whole point is you just get a bunch of extra rewards, karma, that kind of thing. That's why these rewards aren't like 100% the best rewards you can get. Prophet shards are pretty nice though, so yeah. Those are actually probably the most valuable thing here since they give you 25 of them. But yeah, you can go and do all these things, get all the rewards for all of them or not, and then get your Mystic Coins and stuff and be done with it. These events, these weekly events, aren't supposed to take you like hours and hours. They're only supposed to take you an hour or two. Some of them have only taken me 30 minutes to get them done, or upwards of an hour. And then like the World versus World stuff took a bit longer, but it was inevitable since I do go in every week. So it depends on how these weekly things work. So getting groups for fractals and DRMs was such a pain. Playing that bad. Nobody makes the group. Tons of people want to do fractals. Tons of people need to do their DRMs. There's a lot of new players. Nobody uses the LFG because I'll be honest, the LFG in this game is complete trash. And they just expanded even more of these tabs for this. But it's not trash, it's just clunky in effect. So there's a lot of things. It's hard to find what you need, but I do think by adding in very specific things, like living worlds and having the world bosses and stuff will help it. Look at that, Jesus. A lot of people want to help, but they don't make the group because they don't know how to work the LFG. So these people are doing tier 3s, Timberline and stuff right now. So, but if I go into Fractals, which is all the way towards the bottom, which is weird, I think Fractals and Strike should be up towards the top, followed by the story stuff, followed by other extracurriculars. Like World vs. World, do people ever use this one? That should, like, stuff like that, there should be LFG specific to where you are, I feel. So there's a specific place to do strikes and raids and that kind of thing. That's what needs to change in this game, I think. Guild recruitment, sometimes people are there, there they are. Mentoring, I don't know if people ever use that. Role-playing, I have seen, yeah, look. People role-playing. Achievement hunting usually ends up in the central Tyria. That's probably not needed. Dungeons, this one was actually useful because we had that week of dungeons, so they could almost just make a very specific thing for the week, So, anyways, but fractals this week are a little bit busier because of the event. Yeah, the LFG shouldn't be in contacts and LFG. The LFG should be its own panel, much like the World versus World panel, right? You should open an LFG window that has you, what are you looking for, that kind of thing, and then match you with people looking for the same stuff. Now, I don't know how good other LFGs are in other games because I don't play any other MMO. I don't have time. I know people who are playing WoW and Final Fantasy XIV and BDO and Elder Scrolls and this, and I'm just like, where do you find the time to maintain those accounts? Like, what is going on? But they do. Like festivals right now, there's no festival going on. So do we need this tab right now? No, we don't. It should appear when a festival launches, and so when you go into LFG, you see, a festival going on, here's the LFG. It should, like right now, I think it would be better if it actually highlighted the ones that would be probably the best opportunity for you. So like, right now, strike missions could be highlighted because people are doing the strike missions for specific things, and that kind of stuff. But what's sad is that the achievement panel actually becomes a better source. So sometimes when you click on achievements, you can click on, like when I come over here, I was like, where's Ellen Kill, right? And it shows me, like, I don't know why it's showing me this here, but oh, it's showing me everywhere where I can get this stuff done. So the maps for the events. But like I click on this, it's showing me where to go, where the action is happening. But it's in the achievement panel. It's not in the LFG because it should be in the LFG, in my opinion, because oh, it's because I talked to her. That's what happened. This opens up a web page, I guess, for the World Restructuring Beta, which is interesting. Which web page is it open? Yeah, the studio update explaining, you know, what they're doing with the World versus World update. Like, that information is important, you know, and that's where we're at. Like, the weekly stuff is interesting, but the LFG is what hurts. And when you're trying to find something, I think there are a lot of people out there that want to play with other people in Guild Wars 2. My experience with other players is that they're all nervous and things like that playing with each other because there's this overarching experience in MMOs where there are trolls and people who are just not nice, right? But it just doesn't feel that way in Guild Wars 2. When I go into I do tier 1 fractals as somebody with, what, 43,800 achievement points, right? Nearly 11 and a half years of experience, right? Things like that. I go into tier 1s, I'm not looking to boss people around, I'm just looking to get the fractal done, you know? And so, yeah, I may be a little more aggressive hitting the objectives because I know it better, but at the same time, by me doing that, it sort of shows you, like, the fractal isn't hard. Or anything like that. And usually I'm pretty friendly going in too. I say hello and stuff like that. I think if people just did that stuff. And then when we're done, I say thanks all, and then I leave the group. You know, that's it. That's how I play the game now. I'm not looking for the hardest experience or a challenge or players getting it right every time. Sometimes they're dying and stuff. I will pick you up off the ground. I will make sure you will survive because that's the kind of player I am. But that's also just been the community since the start for Guild Wars 2. It's just been tainted by very specific groups where people feel like the game needs to be on a level, you know. That's sort of funny. That ties in with me playing Elden Ring, where they start you at a certain level and then you sort of have to progress through the game to either ease up on that difficulty and experience. But in Guild Wars 2, it's always been more of a casual game, and people just don't want to accept it because the skill ceiling is very high. There's a level way up here that you can touch, but I just don't think that should be the goal for new players coming in, unless you really want it, but that's not going to be the majority. The majority of players are looking for a fun experience, and it's an MMO. They want to play with other players. Inner Dragons really forces you to play with other players, but the big problem with that is that it's not natural forcing players to play. It's the interests all coming together, and I think that's what makes Guild Wars 2 work. We need an LFG that fosters that, so the more hardcore crowd can continue to find more people for them, while the casual crowd doesn't really get affected by it because a lot of those people don't really care about that hardcore content. They want to continue to gather, to go do the weekly events, the bonus events, to check things out. World versus World, they had that, you know, they got as many players in, but it ended up being sort of a double-edged sword. You have the World versus World hardcore people, much like myself, but I don't mind going and collecting the bags from the casuals walking in the door, right? But the problem is they're not getting a good experience of World versus World, you know, for the weekly event. So I'm not saying they should have their own area. I just think that when the beta comes in and you have this weekly thing still going on, you have these people coming in to actually compete because of the beta, and then you have these people who've never done World versus World just getting run over because they don't understand that these people are intense, right? It's an intense thing. So ANET has to be careful with how they want to foster the community. I think it would have been more interesting to have this event trying to get players interested in World versus World, then do the beta, versus sort of overlap them and have a lot of people upset about the people. There's always going to be World versus Worlders being like, oh, look what ANET's doing. Now all these people are going to come in. That's why I always say World versus World people don't know what they want, because that right there just proves we need numbers, but you can't have the but, you idiots. But you can't have that. Because the moment you say but, you're excluding groups, right? You're excluding people from the content. I think what ArenaNet's biggest problem is when it's coming to content is people finding like-mindedness and being able to make groups comfortably that they understand that they are going to find the like-mindedness. World versus World could be more successful had it been fostered in a different way, where there's the intense groups hitting each other, which we're getting to, right? This is the whole point of the restructuring, is to get more intense groups fighting each other, so that the less intense groups can have their fun too. So you're talking, you know, is it fun if a professional football team is just destroying a D-grade team? No, it's not. It's not fun for either group usually. Right? But that's what we experience in World versus World. If ANET got rid of that, it would be great. But should World versus World have a looking for group section outside of World versus World? No. I think when you go in and it points out, hey, you know, there's a squad or something, but that's not how you do World versus World either. You see a tag, you can click on the tag on the mini-map, which some people don't know you can do, and join squad. If you can't join their squad, it's because it's either full or whatever, and it would be interesting for ANET to give us an ability to say that squad is full, join another type of thing. There's so many things like that in this game. I talk about the thorns of Guild Wars 2 a lot, but really, again, just as I said yesterday, there's development and then there's the gamers, and the gamers usually are the ones meeting the developers on the MMO, but they usually have to push harder for their side than the developers are willing to give them. And it's not because the developers don't want to give you the tools and the developers don't know how to develop the tools. It's just so expensive to get 1 million people on the same page. And the 1 million people are the gamers and the devs and anyone else involved with the MMO. It's expensive. It costs millions and millions of dollars to get developed UI in a game and make it work and make sure everybody's is going to work. So, but anyways, let me catch up on chat. Final Fantasy XIV's random group finder is a great example of what they could do. Yeah, I hear that a lot. They had a separate panel, they could do so much with it. I'm one of those, I lost context by now. I don't know fractals and DRM, so I feel nervous starting. Oh, you're one of the nervous ones. I think I'm even nervous going in those groups because I can see how nervous they are. But it's like, yo, let's go do this thing. Sometimes I will even say it's not worth fighting. Like in fractals, there's like known things. Like if you go into the which one, the ice elemental fractal or whatever, and you go in there, it's not worth fighting your way to the enchant. It's not. They don't drop anything that special, and a lot of those enemies will down your group because they have BS tactics and stuff. And you know what I'm talking about. But anyhow, like, so I'll say in a tier 1 group that looks pretty fresh, I look at their achievement points. You know, if most of them are sitting around a, 1,500 or less, I will say we're just going to run through this part because it's better, Just straight up, we're going to run through this part. I will give guidance that way. The other thing, sometimes I see people not doing the mechanics. I'll be like, oh, we just need to light fires here, or something like that, right? I'm not going to be a jerk about it. If they don't do it after I say it, I'm not going to get flustered. I'm just going to keep doing the mechanics myself if I can. So, but yeah, feel nervous starting groups, waiting for it to fill and seeing people leave because they're tired of waiting for or whatever. Yeah, it almost feels like patience and things like that. It's all an anxiety trip. And I think in this day and age of anxiety and the era of assholeness, that's what we live. We live in the age of, people just choosing to be an asshole because it makes them feel better in the moment, but it never alleviates their anxiety. It causes more anxiety to other people. But we can alleviate that by just simply being more informative to ourselves. So when we make the group, it's a level of confidence saying, because that's what I have to do for my weeklies. If I don't make a group like the strike mission or something, it's never going to happen. Like, I could leave that panel open for 40 minutes to an hour or nothing. But I'll make a group and be ready to go. Like, I'll go get the beacon done in the Shiver Peaks for the strike mission. I'll say, anyone's welcome. And then I'll have people who want to just get it done. They'll come in with their alacrity builds and stuff. I've yet to fell Shiver Peaks and not get the bonus chests. But it's just me making the group, and 9 other individuals came in to get their weekly done with me. And my whole thing's like, just bring DPS, is what I tell people. They're like, is this okay? I'm like, yeah, whatever you want. Because that isn't a hard strike mission to beat, and I know I can carry them. Even if we don't get the best chests, my Necro can survive. I have 30,000 health, for God's sakes. I hit hard, right? And usually, it's so funny because I don't get like a bunch of fresh new people. I maybe get 2 or 3, and the rest of them are actually people who do strikes. So they come in with raid-ready builds and strike-ready builds, and I just watch the health of this thing just drop. Is that going to happen every time? No, but that's just it. I made the group, and it ended up filling up with really good people, and they usually have a lot of grace to them. They say thank you and stuff, and but I'm pessimistic because that's what the game trained me to do around that Heart of Thorns to Path of Fire era, right? There was just this community that was happening. There was no content. There was PvP problems. There was world versus world problems. There was a lot of shift in attitude towards how gaming should be in the 2010s, right? The world wasn't in the best place in the 2010s and things like that. And so, live streaming and stuff was really catching on, and it just created this culture. But in the funny enough, since the pandemic, a lot of that culture got squashed because we don't have time for it anymore. A lot of people realize life is short, and it really sucks when you can't do anything. It's hard to connect with people. Loneliness is at an all-time high, so we're starting to see a shift in culture towards pushing anxiety back and just enjoying the game for what it is, which is great. But it starts with finding the confidence in yourself and just being friendly. And when people are being jerks, we just sort of tell them, we don't appreciate it, and then we move on. You just remove the toxic people away from you, is where we're at. It doesn't really help the toxic people stop being toxic, but what can you do? It's a video game. What am I expecting from the next expansion pack? Wow, all the way in August? Probably a hard shift away from what we're doing now, funny enough. I think this expansion is going to have a conclusion, a pretty hardcore conclusion, but it's going to open up the next sort of thing about this sort of in-between world of Tyria and the Mist and that kind of thing. So pretty much ANET has opened up. They can go anywhere, do anything. So I just don't know where until we get closer to the end of this, because we have 2 updates. We have the next major update for Legendary stuff, which is going to continue the story, and they're going to have the conclusion to that story in the next update. And then that's sort of going to show us, point us a direction, or they're going to keep it more close to test, and then the next expansion for a selling point and be like, here's the next story and that kind of stuff. That's a little worrisome for me if they do that, but again, they haven't said they're going to do that, so what do I want in the next one? I have no idea. I don't know what else you could put in this game at this point that would make me more invested or anything as a player, in all honesty. At this point, we're just buying. The expansions that we're buying are just stories, chapters, the next chapter and the next chapter, I feel. They broke weapons away from elite specs and that kind of stuff. You can expect more weapon proficiency, probably. Eventually, all the weapons will be open for all the classes, probably in the next 6 to 7 years, if that's what it takes. And they can continue on from there, if you don't have like pistol on a character, it's just either offhand, not a main hand, you can add it onto the main hand, right? They could go on forever and ever with that kind of stuff. Elite specs, I honestly do not care for elite specs. The newest ones are broken. Old ones are broken. I think Heart of Thorns hit a lot of it on its head, but I don't like the way they ever did elite specs after getting Path of Fires. I was like, maybe elite specs aren't the way they should go with this. It should be how traits and stuff work. Because I just don't think you should gain weapon proficiencies and things like that through the elite specs. I think your traits should be your traits, and I think they should simplify it into very specific trait lines for a very specific effect. So it's easier to balance and things like that. But, people love their elite specs. Majority do. So whatever ANET does, I will be here to look at it and talk about it and give my opinion and probably, use it, play it, that kind of thing. So I didn't really like Scourge when it came out. I thought it was way overpowered. But I use it now for raids and stuff because, it's where I get my DPS and things like that, so who knows. Any feature fix? We were just talking about the LFG, if you missed that. Yeah, if they can fix the LFG, you know what, I'm just going to say it, we're probably going to get those things. We're probably going, the devs seem to really be changing the game, quality of life, but it's not just quality, man, I say quality of life, but like, you know, look at this panel right here. It's empty because of how they changed, because they took this panel and they put it in this. So, you know, my World versus World guild is White Lotus of the Mist, but my main guild is Cube, so I can have a World versus World guild and things like that, and it's just a button right here. I could set Cube if I wanted to, but I'm not, because I'm playing with a very specific groups of people. But the whole point is, like, with the beta going on right now and seeing the restructuring and stuff, they're doing something. And that's what's so important to the game right now, is they promised things in the past and it just didn't happen, or things have needed to be fixed. The guild panel, in all honestly, needs more information. I don't think we need these attributes and stuff here. I think that should be its own little tab on the side, right? Just all sorts of stuff that we have with the guild panel. Are we using it? How's it being used? I think all this stuff might need to be looked at a bit, and we could see that as part of the expansions, whatever.
Think we're ready for another attack?
These weren't filled a second ago when I looked at this, but a lot of PvE stuff will be coming, but I would like to start. So once they get World versus World into the restructuring the way they need it and all the bugs are figured out, I would like to start seeing UI changes for the game, sort of an update to them. I would like to see guilds and guild halls and that kind of thing in the next update. I would love to see choices. If the next expansion has a bunch of story, you know, new maps, but they also said, you know, instead of giving you know, these things to PvE, instead they would just be like, oh yeah, now, you know, you can choose from 5 new guild halls. I think that's a lot of content to choose from and check out and things like that, because right now we don't have guild halls that stretch everywhere, right? We don't have them, we don't have a guild hall, well, sort of we do, but, you know, because it's right there. I mean, Gilded Hollow is right there. Lost Precipice is right there. But if we look at the new area, we could have a guild hall out here now. And do we have a Shiver Peaks guild hall? Do they want to do that? There's a lot they could do with the game, and it's becoming more and more obvious that they want to do more with the game. So, you know, look how big this map is. Ridiculous. So big they have to put like directions. But someone did point out to me, they only have 3 directions they could go now. So, you know. I remember when this map was just this, you know? Are we going out to the Blood Legion homelands? Are we going out to places we've never been? Are they going to go re-explore a lot of the Guild Wars 1 areas? Are they going to give us new areas? You know, they could give us a Dragonfall area, just like they gave us with the Horn of Maguma. You know, these are technically new areas that have never been explored in the Guild Wars universe. Are we gonna go to the Isles of Janthier again? You know, it's stuff like that, so... Map looks so messy at times, but at the same time, it is what it is. I feel like the maps now flow a little bit better with what they are. We still need this half of the map here. Somebody actually showed me where the border more than likely is going to be. So I think it's like this right here. There's a big giant like thing here, I guess. We're going to be invading. But yeah, there's all sorts of places they could take us. I would like to see that in the next expansion for sure. But it's so far away. We're talking still 7 months away. So, they're already working on it, and they sort of know where they're going after that too. And that's really important for those expansions and how those chapters work. They have to go from one story and make it flow into the next. So it's really good to see, you know, hopefully they don't get too far out there, because you never know when you want to take a left or a right. But, you know, it'll be interesting. Yeah, so PvP is getting a rush event next week. Yep, I said that too. No reason not to say it again, right? But anyways, weekly events. The World vs. World beta is going on right now. You get double world experience, reward track progress, that kind of stuff. You get a lot of rewards sitting there. It takes like 10-15 minutes just to go through my loot bags after I'm done, like after a reset run. I look at my bags and I don't want to go through the loot because there's so much of it. It's just sort of like, oh my god, I have to open all these bags and stuff. But it's worth it. Anyhow, what else did I have to look at? God, the music in this game is so great. Listen. I play without music and most of the sound, because I usually have YouTube or something running over here. Been watching AGDQ this week. I'm procrastinating on all the important stuff I need to do. Wanted to check the Black Lion weapons person. What else do we have to talk about today? We have legendary armor to talk about. I feel like I've just been talking for an hour. I have. Over here. Funny enough, we're gonna have this show today, and then what did I say? February 6th, I think is gonna be our next. I think that's when the festival's gonna drop. We will have a show on the Lunar New Year. Now, the Lunar New Year is my least favorite festival. It's a very lucrative festival for your wallet, but overall, which will be really good going into legendary armor, by the way. And wink, wink. But yeah, it's my least favorite festival, and last time it only took me like an hour, maybe 2 hours to finish the whole annual. We will do that again. We will go over it and talk about that. But the major update will be like 3 weeks after that. So we will have 2 shows at least for Guild Wars 2 in February. Going into March, we're sort of doing March content now because we couldn't do the Final Fantasy stuff. But going into March, I don't know when Super Adventure Box will hit, whether it's at the end of the month or not. But I can't remember if it goes into April. I would have to look it up. But pretty much we're going to have that new content major update, and we're probably going to have a date. Actually, we're going to have either 2 or 3 days of going through the content. If I don't think it's worth 2 or 3 days, then in March we'll start looking at legendary armor for World vs. World. And then, or Soto, depends on which one is more capable or I want to get done from that content. So we will have more Guild Wars 2 content going from the end of February going into March. I don't know what I'll be doing in the meantime away from those, but Guild Wars 2 is really easy to schedule. I talked about that. They're making things more predictable for the content. So I can almost tell you, as long as I know the dates that things are happening, I can tell you how many shows we're going to have. Every year I try to aim for 30 Guild Wars 2 shows at least, in the sense of live streams. But we may be trying other things this year too. So I don't always have to do a live show and that kind of thing for content. But the Legendary Armor series, it's not going to be very long, I don't feel, because just how much prep is already done. So I don't know. But every festival we will definitely have a live stream to talk about it, and every major update we'll have a live stream. And the expansion in August, we'll have that. So I'm pulling away outside of these live shows when it comes to like playing the game, but I will keep up with the content and that kind of stuff for Discord. So yeah. The PvP rush next week, I don't know. I'll have to look at the rewards. But the one thing about this week for the rewards here is that they don't have a claim in it. So if the PvP stuff has a claim in it, I might look at what that is. But again, I'm not going to go after every bit of a claim anymore, because there's no reason to. with how empty this is, the only thing I'll end up doing is, if I do decide to grab these or not, is just buy gold. Is what I end up doing, because I don't need crafting bags. But who knows? No, I'll never need crafting bags. I wish this didn't exist here. I wish this was. The other day I was thinking about this. I almost wish this was bags of map currency. Like 20 acclaim for 5 of a map currency of your choice. Because I think that would be more useful than large crafting bags. Gives you like 6 tier 5s or something like that. I don't remember, but they're not really worth it. They're towards the bottom of the list, along with obby shards here soon. But yeah, as long as you get all that done, like, I'm gonna keep up on all the special stuff, like this. So what did these go up to? So those were 180 instead of 150. They're not as expensive as I thought. And then instead of 1,000, it went up 200. So what is that percentage-wise? 20% more expensive. So these weren't as expensive as I thought they were gonna make them. I think the special skins went up the most, right? 75? Is my math wrong in my head? 375 times 0.2. How much is that? No, it's still 20%. Oh, it just looks weird. Alright, whatever. But anyways, I will always keep up on the acclaim to buy all of this stuff, except the stuff that I don't need as a 12-year veteran. 16,000 hours of Guild Wars 2 will sort of just make you stop caring about certain rewards. As a new player, you should grab as many rewards stuff as you can. You never know when you want to use it or whatever. DMCA. Anyways, yeah, the festival's coming beginning of next month, I'm pretty sure. And it will be here in Queens, Divinity's Reach. God, Divinity's Reach, and then we'll have that event rotation here. I really hope that event rotation is faster than it has been. Gold per hour wise, the problem with the next festival, just talking about it, is that it is better to go farm gold than it is to try to get the tokens. So if you do the event once, it's worth it, because you're talking 22 to 27, maybe more gold per hour. But the moment you have to do a second event, it drops all the way down to 10.5 gold per hour, and you can easily go get more gold anywhere else. You can go do Silver Waste and earn 16 gold per hour in the same amount of time it will take you to get the events done for the tokens. In fact, if it takes you 3 events to get all the tokens you can earn that day to buy all the envelopes, you have wasted gold. You've actually wasted your time, because it ends up being less than 10 gold per hour because it takes so long to finish all the events. Hopefully they have found a way to speed it up, or at least reward you with more pieces of tokens a little bit better than the way it was going, but I just don't think they would have they're going to change those rewards, because the envelopes are so powerful gold wise. Like, it really depends on what the extra rewards are coming this year. I don't know if it's going to be worth the weekly prizes and stuff. We'll have to check it out when the festival gets here. But I'm already feeling that, like, God, I'm going to have to sit there and do that event every day if I want to keep up on the envelopes and open as many as I can. Because technically you could earn a gold, what is it? A gold 68 silver per, so you get like 68 cents to the dollar or something like that if you're lucky enough. But I just don't feel that way. And remember, Magic Find is capped out at 750, so even then, I agree. I think that 600% magic find is the number. I just will never open them near that max because of just the years I got burned opening it and getting no rare back pieces, almost no exotic back pieces, not getting anything because Magic Find was breaking and they didn't let us know. And then finally somebody's like, yeah, we're capping this because it breaks. So I'm running at like 900 and something % Magic Find opening those envelopes, getting less loot out of them. What ended up happening. So, and everybody was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is broken. Because one guy was like, no, man, open them at 625%. I'm getting all sorts of great things. This is awesome. And we were like, that doesn't make sense. But he was right. Pissed me off, man. It pissed me off. All those years, this guy was so adamant. You gotta think, they opened, I don't know how many envelopes, tens of thousands of envelopes, right? Doing research at different Magic Find levels. And this guy's like, no, man, I'm sticking with my 625%. And that guy was making it hand over fist money. He was boom, boom, boom. And we're looking at his data like he's skewing this, man. He has to be messing with this. 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row we were looking at it. And finally we gave in on the 4th year. We're like, okay, other people did it and they were making the same amount of gold. We were doing it at like 700, 800, 900% Magic Find. Dumb. We were dumb. We knew better. Other people were also, they figured it out and they're just like, shh. Do you think ANET will continue with home instance? Into Dragons and Soda didn't bring anything new to the home instance. Well, I think the gym stores where we're probably going to see anything. If they bring in a new map currency, in the not so much like the calcified gasps and stuff that I was talking about earlier, because they want you to go to those maps and farm them. But if there's something to mine, harvest, that kind of thing that isn't just a one-off, we'll probably see that in our home instance, just so you can get some every day. The home instance is worth about 12 gold a day when it's completely filled up. I think that's where the number is at. It was 12 to 14 gold a day. If you have every currency and you convert. So if you want to know what that's like. So right now the home instance is pretty good bang for your buck type of stuff. Also depends on the glyphs you have on. So volatile magic is a really good one. When sprockets are over a silver, they're pretty good too. Or 88 copper or whatever it is. I think 88 copper is the cutoff. So right now, sprockets aren't really worth it at all. But volatile magic definitely on your tools, or if you can do it as fast as possible with like the Glyph of the Reaper. The home instance is something like 30 gold per hour, which is really good. That's a great farm. But if you luck out and it pushes over 40, you can do that. So back when I was doing the legendary weapons last year, at the beginning of like the first third of the year, I was following really close how much gold per hour I was making. And I was usually leaving the dailies in the home instance with 30 plus gold per hour most days. So the first 20 to 30 minutes of the day for farming was literally the most important. Hitting the home instance, hitting the guild halls, hitting that kind of stuff. So I don't think the home instance needs much more, in all honesty, but going forward, if they do introduce more stuff for the home instance, or in the sense of map currencies like the blood rubies and that kind of thing, yeah, that stuff will appear there. But I'll never make the mistake of going for it as fast as possible again, since the hatch chili peppers. What are those sitting at?
How can I assist you?
Yeah, this is at 3 gold. Bought it for 50. I will never forgive myself for that. And they're worthless, practically. You can sell this for 5 silver. They knew. They freaking knew. I hope they don't do that again. If you can buy it. I think it was actually BS that they had it that way. So it's one of those Ice Brewed Saga one-off, haha, got you type things. And I'll never forgive them for it. But Luckily, that's the only one they did that way for introduction to story and that kind of thing, as far as I remember. You can't buy the other nodes. I mean, those come from Black Lion chests, you know, Mithril, Platinum, that kind of thing. I remember just the packs sitting on the gym store. That's the other thing, too. They could introduce new packs. I always thought they were going to try to upgrade these somehow as a super rare thing. That could still happen. Super upgrades for guild halls were a thing, but there was also this whisper a long time ago about home instance nodes becoming more like rich nodes, or like the large candy corn node. So instead of just getting 3 strikes, you can get 6, and then like from there you can get more. You can get a rich node after that, you know, a rich platinum node. But a lot of that stuff would have been either gym store or very expensive to get. Like somebody's like, there's an NPC you talk to and you can give them the node again type of thing with another cost on top of it to upgrade the node. Which I'm surprised they never did, actually, because I'm sure people would have just spent money. But maybe that's why they didn't do it, because you'd have to buy the same package 3 times over to get the max effect, and that was just too expensive. Or they just never thought about it after whatever person came up with it. I don't know. I always just thought it was an opportunity. But I'm trying to think what else is in the home. Let me go to my home instance really quick, because now I'm trying to think what else they could add in there. The festival nodes. Are we missing a festival node? Yeah, we're missing one. Snowflakes. Snowflake node would be really nice, I feel. Be nice to get a snowflake node. We don't have all the vegetables, but those nodes just aren't worth it because they added in the garden. So they could expand the garden stuff if they wanted to. I wouldn't mind another garden plot, in all honesty. Mining and logging materials to be added. So they are technically. I wish none of the home instance stuff costs keys. So I get jade, pieces of jade every day because of the expedition teams. So into Dragons, right now they are doing Dragon's End. If I do like Province, I get something for legendaries. I forget the name of it, but you earn those through the story from redoing story chapters. But you can earn one of those every day, and I just stuck with that for the 140 that I needed for the legendaries I needed to do last year. But you can get them, you can get the writ specific from a map by doing this. Ekavald's Wilds will give you the the petrified resin. It gives you that every day. So technically it is there. You can even get fish to harvest, but I don't even know how good that is. Let me look that up. Black Lion Expedition. That will show me in a Dragon's contract. The Tell of Adventure is what you get from Province. Let me look here. New Kanyang City gives you pure jade and chunks of petrified Ekavald resin. I didn't know that. It also gives you fillets for fish. Kanyang City is sort of great. Ekavald Wilds gives you more chunks of petrified Ekavald resin. So that's what it is. So the city gives you some of each. Ekavald Wilds gives you the petrified resin. Dragon's Inn gives you chunks of pure jade, 8 to 12 at a time. The fishing is just fillets. So you could keep up... I'm trying to look here. Since they're not giving you up to 5, it's sort of not worth it. Because you could convert them up to the ambergris if you wanted to. But yeah, that's how they did that for the nodes. They sold it on the gym store. Is what I'm trying to say. So the expedition board... how they did some of that. There is some double dipping, of course, with like season 3. What am I doing here? Well, actually, season 3, I'm not doing a specific map. I'm doing Dry Top and the Silver Waste because it's more profitable. Season 4, I'm doing the Domain of Istan. And I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why, but you can get the map currencies from those too. Trophies, I think I'm doing Bones. I don't remember why. Usually do Dust. We'll go to Blood. Actually, I don't know. We should look at that. Which one's more expensive for tier 6 materials? Rare. Bones are at 18. Armor scales 22. Dang, look at all this stuff. Better quality meats over a silver? I need to sell mine. Labra totem's 43, so totems are pretty expensive. Really, all I needed to do is this. And then go down the list. Do that every freaking time. Go down the list, and eventually, yeah, you see powerful blood. So blood would be the best one. Totem second. Piece of Mother of Pearl is 30. So you can see Mint Seed. That's how you should actually look at it. It looks like Powerful Venom Sac down at 23. So yeah, you would pick blood. Oh, totems and blood are so expensive because of the legendary crafting. Because they stopped updating home instance, could be they're thinking about player housing. Now, player housing is extremely expensive to maintain. Final Fantasy XIV does player housing because I think you pay for it or whatever they do, and there's a queue system, and not everybody gets player housing. And there are some people out there with like a dozen player housing or whatever, and it could be sold, and it's just a mess. Player housing, I think, is a great idea. I think the home instance could be much like a guild hall where we could decorate it ourselves, but we would need to remove all the NPCs and actually have a place for the player to be. I think ANET could still do a home instance that could be customizable, much like a guild hall. It just would be very limited what you want to show, and it should also be based off your character going in there to show off things like, you know, did I do this NPC quest? Did I finish the story? Did I finish living world content? You know, Mox is standing right here. Like, though, all of these characters that we get could be the things that fill the home instance, and it would be like player housing. But I don't remember how player housing works in other games, but it is a mess of a system, and the developers hate it, as far as I know. They love the idea of it, but it's extremely taxing on their servers and things like that as well, depending on how they're used. I think ANET could simplify that system and create sort of a satisfied customer type thing and not have to charge us for it. People always thought about, like, you know, the passes and things like that. So, like, because home instances are the same instance for everyone, depending on which one you go into, right? So when you go into your instance, it is sort of player housing. But yeah, it would be interesting to see if they could undo enough code to change that home instance. They still need that instance there for the story, but we've had other things, like Season 4 we had Sun's Refuge, right? Which I thought was going to be like this sort of new place where we do things and stuff like that. It ended up not being that at all, which was sad. It was a way to just collect stuff for Season 4, which sort of sucks. There's still things to do in here and stuff like that. I believe this is where you raise your sky scale. You do it for Season 4, and then Baby Aurene is in here. But, like, you know, here's the chest. You know, there's a lot of throwback stuff. They put the books here, I think, somewhere. There is a lot of things. Different music, right? The different music was in here. So you can change the soundtrack. That kind of thing. There was a lot of that stuff here, and you know, like, look at all the books. I thought this was what this was going to become, was sort of like the new home instance for people, where we can collect our achievements and things like that, much like the Hall of Monuments was in Guild Wars 1, but did not end up that way. So it was just another one of those things that it took time to fill out. Like, where was it? I just saw the Desert Fox. Yeah, you can also get an NPC for this. It was like a home instance. But I don't know. Here's the Aurene stuff. You had to go collect for her. I thought that's how we were going to do things moving on, and then I don't know what happened. But of course, Season 4, we all know what happened. We all know what happened after Season 4, so. Paladin, hello. Game is still alive? Yes, very much. In fact, more than it's ever been. But I don't know if we'll ever get player housing because of things like this. Because this was a lot of work, you know? And for them not to keep it expanded and things like that, it's weird. There's, as far as I know, I don't think there's a bank in here or anything like that. But there's another exit to go out into the maps in different ways and stuff like that. But it was just a Season 4 thing. Same thing, you know, Season 5, we got the Eye of the North. Of course, they cut this season short. I really do wonder what else they would have added here. But this ended up being just another thing like that, too, didn't it? Because in here, we have this NPC. No, you're not the NPC. This NPC right here. And there was a bunch of services that you could buy and that kind of stuff. So you can get crafting tables and certain NPCs. So, you know, there's all the crafting tables. And this is also where you can do the Marinette, by the way, since that's a weekly thing. You know, there's some books. Found the books, right? This is a strike mission hub where you can add more NPCs. You can get this guy who sells you all this stuff from the maps, decorations and all, right? Where you can buy the tomes, and it's all here. It's all here. This guy has the boral stuff, the recipes for it, all that. A map currency conversion you can do for the Eternal Ice Shards. You're doing that stuff. So, you can buy currency that way. And then there's the restored stuff. This is for Grothmar Valley? Why can't I think of the map names? Holy crap. But you can also buy trophy shipments here if you want to. I usually go to a Season 4 map because I'm like that. But, yeah. All this stuff is here. You know? You could buy that. There was another thing like that. And then Again, Aurene was involved. She's not there for spoiler reasons, but yeah. They also had the scrying pool here, which was, I thought, was a cool idea for season 1, but of course they changed that. They actually brought season 1 back, so they do all this work and then it just, there's no reason to come back to these places except for a very specific thing. So oh, I got stuck. But even this, you know, there was the Hall of Monuments Portal Stone. If you got that upgrade to your account, you can come here to that Hall of Monuments. Which again, I thought the Hall of Monuments was going to be much like Guild Wars 1, where they're going to, you know, this is where the tapestries were, I think is what they were. You had to go get a tapestry, come and like upgrade the thing, and then the tapestry was there, and then that's where you turned in your minis and stuff like that for the Hall of Monuments. But no. I actually thought they were going to build this all back up, repair it, that kind of thing too, but did not happen. But as you completed story and stuff, more NPCs arrived, and when certain story steps are activated, there's people around the table, and there's these people, the defense sills, and that kind of thing. That's still there. So, yeah, and then that's gone, right? I don't know. Let me take a moment here. I feel like we're not talking about something that's important to Guild Wars 2. So what do we go over? We went over the weekly stuff. We talked about the Wizard's Vault. There's Sneb. I keep running into Sneb. I don't know why. I think we're just playing at the same time. But of course, he might just be advertising for selling whatever. But I thought that, no, that's his alt account though that does that. I ran into that, and then a buddy of mine who plays on EU ran into Mighty Teapot like 6 times in the last like 3 weeks. It's weird. Also playing against him. Funny, ArenaNet partners, when they run in, when you get into a same group with an ArenaNet partner, here's the funny thing. I have found that almost 100% of the time, whatever you're trying to do, whether it's a raid, a strike, some weekly thing, beating a meta, it's successful like 100% of the time. Because it just takes like just the right knowledgeable people to do things and push something. The last meta I did, I accidentally broke it, and that was my fault. I didn't break it, like, I did something and it rushed the... I didn't realize it was going to do that. Like, there were warnings about not sieging certain things, but I didn't realize if I went and beat certain enemy NPCs early, because that's usually what I do. I just make sure the event's going to be successful. It skipped entire step. And it was like, something that's supposed to take like 15 minutes only took us like 8. But that's my fault. I didn't want to admit it in map chat, but it definitely was my fault. Because it's always been that way. It's always been... I guess broken that way, but it's like, why do I have to sit there and fight a champ if I don't have to, when we're going to end up fighting 3 of them? And it's not really a champ, it's just a legendary, but it has so much HP, it's just, why? So it's just like, I'm going to go beat that guy now. So the story step, or the meta step never happens. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to tell you, because, yeah. Anyhow, is this game still alive? Look at all these people. What are they doing? What are you doing in the Eye of the North? This place is cold. It's already cold enough outside in real life. But anyhow, gym store. Oh, we didn't talk about the gym store. Look at this stuff. I don't know if you can tell what's going on here on my character, but there's pauldrons. They also have the staff. Someone pointed a very weak Saruman staff. Not like the madness we ran into yesterday. But look at this! What in the Hollow Knight? I don't know what to think of this one, because it's still like a caterpillar. but is this worth 1,600 gems? I mean, it's pretty close. It's a Sky Scale skin. The Regal Moth. But as soon as I saw it, I thought Hollow Knight because of the moth things in there for some reason. But then you look at the tail, and it's like a caterpillar tail. I don't know what to think of it. The feet are creepy because it's caterpillar feet too. If I remember right. Not really moth feet. But bugs are gross, so whatever. But you can do some fancy coloring with this. I'm surprised I haven't seen one today. And then a bunch of stuff is 20% off. Shared inventory slots are 20% off. We talked about that. Trying to think. Isn't there something else that was new? Is that it? I think that was it. There was something else that was new. I think we talked about that. That's actually not terrible. I don't know if I would ever need a guaranteed die unlock. I mean, these are the dies I have left. Black Lion chests. Don't open them, kids. You'll end up with everything in the game. Gambling bet. Oh, did you see in China that you can't even sell them anymore? There can be nothing of chance. Most of the predatory practices they do here in the United States are now disallowed in China. So, like, loot boxes aren't there. You can't do boost bundles. Can't do those anymore. Type of things. Like, oh, buy this many and get this percentage more type stuff. Those are predatory practices in China, and they are, because they're getting you to pay more money up front for something that you're not owning. It's just currency. So, the mount skin licenses would have to be by choice. They could not have the RNG ones. Yeah, those would not. You couldn't have the random ones anymore. You couldn't. There's something else you can't do. It pretty much, you have to show what people are buying, and it has to be guaranteed. So in China, all that stuff is gone, and there's always that America rules type, capitalism is awesome person out there who is like, oh, that'll never come to the United States. Yeah, just like the data changes to the EU. Yeah, those were never going to affect us here in the United States, but that's why when you go to every goddamn web page, it goes, hey, we collect your data, is this okay? And then they, like, don't let you look at the website until you say yes, which is a predatory thing, but in the EU, you can't do that. You can say, no, I don't want you to collect my data, and they have to respect it there, because the data is owned by the person, owned by their people. Here in the United States, they use it as currency. That's why I'm getting emails, because my my landlord sold my email address to somebody. Now I'm getting emails from something, and it's pretty obvious it's renter-oriented and stuff like that, and that pisses me off. But it does say in the contract that they can use our email for those things, so that sucks. But, yeah, those practices will stretch here because a lot of companies are international, and they don't like to have to do extra work for very specific countries. And since China did it, it's also going to empower other countries to do it as well, because they'll end those predatory practices. And there's a lot of anti-capitalism, and there's a reason for that, because capitalism cannot survive on its own. And, you know, you need the social stuff underneath it to make it survive. And here in the United States, it's toppled over. There's so much predatory practice, bad law, capitalism, whatever you want to call it, that it's actually toppling and eating itself. And that's why you see, like, the housing market is in danger of collapsing again, and inflation went more rampant than it should have, but you can also use it as a double-edged sword. And so what ended up happening here in the United States, one of the few countries that actually reined in the inflation, is that we just use that huge amount of capital from the capitalism against itself to cause the prices to stall, which should have happened from the get-go. I'll say again, so interest rates and stuff don't go up. Again, that's a lot of boring BS stuff, but it does affect our video games and like the gym store. I'm trying to think what else in the gym store. Like all these sales and stuff like that. If you don't know, when you see something like 20% off, and this is not a Guild Wars 2 thing. This is an everywhere thing. You should do your research about maybe how much something is worth. So these wings being sold at 400 gems, it's probably worth it now. At 500 gems, you're getting scammed by 20%. Because they want to expand those margins as big as they can to make as much money as they can, right? So if the price of something is too far ridiculous, you may see like 40% off and 45% off. That should always make you pause about how that company does business. Because nothing is really worth 40% off unless they're going out of business, or 50% off unless they're going out of business. Where they're just trying to liquidate everything as fast as possible. So they're just trying to, they don't care about their margins anymore. It's about getting as much of that money in to deal with their debts. So, but anyways, when you see sales like this, 20% off, same thing, Black Lion keys when they go on sale, that kind of stuff, it should make you question things. Packages like this, like these account bumps, they cannot exist in China. Because the account should already hold so much value that they shouldn't be bumping up the account and things like that. Now, I don't know exactly about this. Black Lion chess keys would not exist this way, just to let you know. But I don't know if this package, like, they could just rename it as, something else. But I noticed that they're also doing an account-bound unidentified dies. I don't know if that would fly in China anymore. Because if there's already one that can be traded within the game, now gatekeeping it, like ANET's doing with these, would probably not be allowed because it would be predatory. Getting you stuck with a product that you might not actually need. So the whole reason why it's happening that way is because it's pixels. When those companies go down, so does all the money. And players can't get their money back for that. Sometimes when you see like a phone app or whatever game go down, they'll refund you all the money you spent on the game. And some people are like, how? Like, what happened? Well, there's some side to something. They were making money in other ways, that kind of thing. And what they end up doing is the reason they reimburse you is so you don't sue them, because you no longer have access to the product. Now, that isn't true here in the United States. If you pay $2,000 to a game and it shuts down tomorrow, you're out $2,000 because they're limited. Liability company, more than likely. So the person who built the company isn't liable for the company's debts anymore. More than likely. I'm not going to say that's every case and things like that, but I remember going to school and hearing that and being like, so you can just make companies, have them fail over and over? And that's the United States. Yes, they want you to build a company that lasts forever, but hey, shit happens, blah, blah, blah. What ends up getting hit is your credit. But the problem is, if you make, say, $22 million off a company, it fails, and you only had to pay like $5 million in penalties, because the penalties are never enough, what ends up happening is you're up $20+ million still, and you can go start another company and do the same thing over and over and over and have them fail over and over and over and hit the same penalty. Even if your credit's bad, you have all this excess money that when you go and take a $15 million loan, they say, hey, at the end they can still pay it back, but they don't. And then the banks try to negotiate a better deal with them just to try to get some of the money back. It's insane. What ends up happening is the people pay for it. Our taxes, those bank charges that we get that, right now that a lot of governments are trying to get rid of, that kind of stuff right now that's happening is because that surcharge or license charge is the government charging them money because of these bad deals that they make, or if their company should go under, right? And they're making the people pay for it. And then the government turns around and said, hey, this is what you should be paying for your company to exist. You can't charge the people for it. You can't charge the consumers. And they lost, But then they turned around, and what ended up happening is they just have to tell the consumer, hey, look, the only reason our company exists is because you're paying for this license. And so now when you go like back to those companies or whatever, you have to accept this deal that you will pay for that license so they can continue to charge you money to give the government. Like, that's it. And that's the loophole. And if the government doesn't want that to happen, they have to literally state that the company has to pay that money itself and not actually have that expenditure go to the customer or any proof of it. So, again, you can't break the law if there's no proof you broke the law. But that's how they'll do it now. So, like, with that stuff happening and things, I don't know. But being a game developer is, in the next 10 years, is not going to be fun. That's why I also think Twitch isn't going to survive. I don't know how YouTube streaming is going to survive because the expenditures are exponential. Should everyone have access to this service? Should everyone be able to do this for free? But how can they charge it in a way that isn't saying go capitalism? Because at this point, with the government realizing around the world that these predatory practices are actually costing the government more and more money that they want, it's going to be the government versus the companies. The companies will have nowhere to go because the other governments are going to see that. And as we get into the new generations of leaders, we're going to see that change. So game development, I don't know how far it's going to change like the gym store in Guild Wars 2. But again, things like account bumps cannot exist. Pre-purchasing deals cannot exist. RNG, any related stuff like that, the product has to be sold as is. So if somebody comes along 3 years from now and they buy the product, they're getting the same product as the person who originally bought it 3 years earlier. And that's what they're pushing for. It's not exactly written that way, but it is written that way now in China in the sense of when you sell a product, people need to know what they're buying. And you cannot gamble with their money. You cannot say something is worth between this and this. It has to be sold as it is. And the other thing that always confuses people here in the United States is that when we buy products here, we don't see the tax on the price when we buy it. We get the sales tax after we get to the thing, and then it shows us the total price, and the tax is added on top of it there. So you can't go into a store with a calculator and just add up the price of the products. You would have to do the sales tax. And not everything has sales tax applied to it either. So, like, the tax law here in the United States is extremely complicated alone. So when you think of all that kind of stuff, I do not envy these companies going forward, but it's their own fucking fault, in my opinion, that you should have known this was coming. Do I think Black Lion chests are going to go away in the next 5 years? Maybe. Depends on how hard the other companies fight. I don't think ArenaNet will have much to say in the process. You know, Josh Davis could show up to a court hearing and be like, look, this stuff makes us good money. It's fair because. I don't think it's unfair because. Sure, they could do that, but at the end of the day, I don't think ArenaNet's the company that they'd be going after. They would make an example of, you know, Rockstar, EA, Blizzard again. I mean, they would go after those companies again and this time be like, look, this law is going to make sure you can never do this again, that people are buying product that you're selling and that the price makes sense. So, and then ArenaNet would also, since the law would change, would quickly adjust that. They had to do that for Belgium. They'll do it again. Gambling bad? No. I think gambling is, it's a sport. Really, it's a mind game. But the problem is, some people in this world, they do not have self-control, impulse control. They can't figure out the numbers, right? You have to have a statistician sit there and tell you only have a 1.8% chance to win. Do you realize how many times you'd have to play to even make your money back? It's really hard to stomach a number. Even if you're spending a nickel, I think something like 11,114 games of chance would have to be played. Something like that. I don't think that's the exact number, but it's a number in there for sure. But again, since there's a range, it wouldn't be allowed in the video game. So, but like, can gambling happen in a video game with like our gold? Like, would the ecto gambling go away? No, because the thing is, in that circumstance, The only thing, well, I wonder though. The only thing I think about is like, if I charge my credit card to get 300 gold to get the Ecto as well, is that gambling still, or is that now the consumer's fault because the extra step is there, and technically the Ecto gambling isn't money directly, it's the currency in the game that you can earn anywhere. Like, what are the rules part of that? That's also what I'm curious about. No, I like how I'm looking forward in this year. You guys are asking about expansions and stuff, but the stuff that's happened in the last like 4 months, the landscape of the game development world is changing. And with China enforcing these rules now, I'm curious to how MMOs are going to make their money and change and stuff like that. But it brings back the gym store. Like, is this worth 1,600 gems? No. But would I spend 1,600 gems? I'm damn close to getting this one. But again, I have so many Skyscale skins and stuff, like, it's really hard for me to spend any more money on the game. In the sense of, like, people are like, doesn't ANET give you gym codes? Yeah, I give them out to you guys, because gym, like, are you guys kidding? Do you realize how many gyms I could possibly have? There's somebody out there with, like, freaking millions of gems, okay? Last time I was on Guild Wars 2 Efficiency, it was like 12 million gems. Again, I'm making that number up. But there was somebody with like 880,000 gems one time, and I was just thinking, like, what are you doing with that? And did you pay money for those, or are you just literally farming gold and converting? Farming gold and converting. They're the reason why it's so expensive to convert gold to gems. But yeah, so we'll see what happens in the upcoming year or two, and how ArenaNet adjusts to it, and whether they're going to adjust to it by region or just flat out just get rid of Black Lion chests. I am curious. I'm curious to see what they would do with that too. Would they just make Black Lion keys just available in general to open Black Lion chests? Would they get rid of Black Lion chests? Would people... Because I don't think they would reimburse anyone for Black Lion keys or anything like that, but what about if I have 100 Black Lion keys sitting in my bank and stuff like that? What happens then? Do they just lose their value as they are? Would they continue to update the Black Lion chest? Would they change how the Black Lion chest works? I don't know. But I don't know at what point RNG would seem fair in the eyes of the law. What I'm trying to get at. So, and if ArenaNet is watching this, I would be making plans now, because just like EU's data changes, it's going to change things in the US pretty quickly, which is going to be crazy. And since you are in the EU and a lot of those countries are already looking to adopt some of that stuff from China, I wouldn't be surprised. But who knows? EU, you may get this short end of the stick and not be able to get Black Lion keys. While NA people are going to sit there and be like, look at all the Black Lion keys I can buy. Then I'm going to have an opening week after week, and I want to see the dislikes on the video, because people are like, that's gambling, dislike. It's like, you need to listen to me. Is a Black Lion key worth the value of that chest? I'm trying to show you if it is. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not opening Black Lion chests because I have some gambling problem, because I haven't opened them for months now. The thing is, has it been months? When was the last time I opened it? Doesn't matter. My point is, I also didn't buy those keys. A lot of them were just given to me. So I just want you to understand, if I could walk into a casino and someone gave me $100,000 just go waste on gambling, would I do it? Fuck yes! Yes, I would. I would go into that place. I would gamble at the best I could to turn that $100,000 into millions and then walk out of the casino laughing at them. You betcha. Am I going to make content and tell you, is that casino worth gambling at? Sure. Am I going to tell you gambling's bad? That's up to you. That's your decision. Should you buy Black Lion keys? Yes or no? Yes? Let me explain the value of those keys then for this specific content of the chest. Right? That's it. They show up to the video and they just hit the dislike button. It's like, and you watch it. I know you didn't watch it, because some of those dislikes disappear. It means you came into the video, hit the dislike, and left the video. Which, Funny enough, YouTube doesn't count because you weren't there watching the content. Watch the whole video, then hit the dislike button, and then I have respect for you to go, okay, what'd you not like about the video? And it's like, your stupid face, and that's like, fair. And if you're just showing up because you think gambling's bad, go to church. You don't have time for video games because video games are bad. The mindset. 98.4% of the world will not have a gambling problem. All those gambling problems are 1.6% of the world, and that's the people we can count. Children can't gamble. Is video games, Black Lion Chess gambling? I don't know. I can't tell you if the Black Lion Key's value is worth what's coming out of the chest every time, but more than likely you are earning more account value opening the chest than what it cost you to buy the keys. You could not convert the same amount of gems to gold and get back most of the time. Sometimes, though, it's so bad that the average does go down. So, again, that's why I look at the chest. Like, the Black Lion chest I talked about earlier, the one that's available right now, is not worth it unless you want that uncommon item. And then I don't know the value of those uncommon items. So I can't tell you if it's worth it or not when it just comes to those, but I can tell you if you want something, you can go after it. You're free to do what you want, but it's going to cost you money, or you have to figure out how to farm the keys in the game. Mapping, the weekly one. Some of the story steps, making a new character, getting through those story steps. You can earn keys for free in the game. Gambling is just an activity. Playing with money you specifically set aside for it. So, the way you should look at gambling, and this is probably one of the best ways it was ever explained to me by an actual casino mafia person. I forget what they call those people, but they practically are the mob for their own casino. But what he said is you should always look, if it's $5 a table, right? You have to bet at least $5 for whatever you're playing. And you have an extra $100. You should think of it as credits. You have 20 chances to win money here for more credits, right? So you can play more than 20 times in hopes that you will earn so much credits that you could cash out. So, like, when they give you chips, this is how they get you. You have these credits in your hand, and it's really easy to toss $500 on a table with chips because it's no longer cash. You're not watching the money go away. When you're playing directly with money, and that kind of thing, it's really easy to see your bank account draining. Same thing with your debit and credit card. Swiping that, you can spend a lot more money because you don't see the money changing hands. So with casino chips, it's part of just the trickery of it all. But at the same time, if you think I'm only limited to 20 credits, when you win something that's more than that, you keep it. And as long as you play that way, if you lose all 20, you play all 20 credits and walk away, you have either profited or not lost any money than you're willing to part with. Every time. Every time. So, I have $100. I'm going to get $5 chips. I go play. Whatever I win, I put to the side. And once I'm out of 20 credits, I walk away. That's it. That's that know when to stop before you start thing, right? But that's it. That is the key to all gambling in anything. I'm willing to part with this much money. If you're willing to part with $1,000, you have, 200 chances? Like, that's because you have $1,000 to waste. But the thing is, the chances of you winning is going to be changed based off of the number of times you try and things like that. And then you get into some theories and game theory and the gamblers, 99% of the time, a gambler quits just before they hit it big. 99% of the time. But the thing is, like, you should never think that way. That's why now, when I open the chest, I only open 50 because I've realized it only takes about 50 to see whether these things are going to be worth my time or not. And then, sometimes I don't even use all 50 keys because the chest, once I have the uncommon items that I want, the chest immediately loses value. Like, it's no longer worth opening anymore. And so I can walk away. So even if I have 20 credits, if I win 40 credits, I can just walk away if it only took me 5 tries, right? So I have 15 extra credits plus all those ones I just got. I'm out of here. I'm obviously a winner. So, yeah, gambling activity, it's true. It should be nothing more than a hobby that you waste money on, much like video games. But should there be a hobby inside of a hobby? I don't know. People are fishing inside of video games. I don't know. Why are we talking about this? There's content to look at here. All right. This is why when people sit down at certain machines and they're just putting nickels in it, and they're just pressing the lever, I always think of them as like cows just grazing. Like, you have the money to sit there with this bucket of nickels. It's not technically nickels either, because they give you, like, the coins. My hometown's festival, or whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to think of the correct name. You know, the carnies show up, and they have all the rides and that kind of stuff. But they hold these, there's like this vendor place where people sell things, or there's games you can play. And there's this nickel game where you toss nickels onto this mat. And if your nickel lands inside the square, you get that many nickels back. But the whole nickel has to be in these like small squares. And the squares are about, I don't know, just, I think the size of, there's space around the nickel. There is room for error, but it's not a lot. And these people, I remember one year I spent like $20 in nickels, but you know, you flip these nickels and there's technique to it and stuff like that. But one guy, man, he hit this spot like 3 times, and you could just see the frustration. But the people running that game, they had to make thousands. In like the 3 or 4 days that festival was going on, they're making thousands of dollars with nickels. Because with nickels, you know, you're not thinking about it. But I used to play that game. That's how I gambled. And anybody can play it because it's not gambling, it's a game. Right? It's like going to the arcade and putting quarters in. It's not gambling. There's skill involved. That's why a lot of people are like, blackjack is a skill-based game because you can count cards. And if you're good enough, you know whether you're going to win or not. And I agree. I think blackjack is something... I don't think it should be illegal to count cards for blackjack. I think casinos should just stop allowing it. Same thing, if I'm a statistician, I can go in and figure out your roulette table sort of leans one way or another, so I can start predicting which number it is. Should I have a law passing that is illegal, or rules that say I can't win because I'm smarter than your table? No. You just gotcha. The guy who used to go to casinos and win millions, like he won like $12 million in gambling, every single casino owner kicked him out of their casinos because they were hoping one day he was just going to lose all those millions, because he kept gambling more and more and more, but he literally could not lose because he knew how the game was played. He knew when to quit, and he knew when to walk away, and he knew that kind of stuff, so he always walked away with more money than he lost, and they didn't like it. So eventually they just tried to keep him there as long as possible in hopes that one of them would get the jackpot from him. The house would win. It's absolutely not true that players stop right before winning big. That's not a good idea to spread it. Every play is independent. Oh, no. What I was saying, that's the gambler's fallacy. That's a bad thing. I'm sorry if I didn't make that clear. 99% of gamblers quit before they make it big is not the way you should ever think about anything. I'm sorry. Did I not make that clear? Do not keep gambling if you do not have the credits. That was the whole point. If I'm at 20 credits and I've lost all 20 credits, game over, people. You gotta go. Shut the console down. You're out. All right? I'm sorry, Binary. No, that's the gambler's fallacy. You are a loser the moment you go and pay money towards anything. I just want you to know. You're losing money immediately. The moment you go into an arcade and you put a quarter in the machine, you are down a quarter. Right? And here's the funny thing. Unless you earn tickets back to earn prizes, or you can earn money, that would be insane. It's money lost. So when you go and gamble, you're just pretty much giving your money to this house, right? You're just like, yeah, take my money. Like, the chances of you getting that money back or more is so low that it's easy to think, oh, just the next one, right? But just to give you an idea, if something has a 1% chance to happen, it does not mean it's going to happen in 100 tries. Nope, not at all. Not at all. You've seen me, if you've ever seen me play Final Fantasy when I'm grinding something, there's a percentage of a chance that something happen, and then there's a percentage of a chance of it happening. I know, insane. There is math that will do this for you, but I remember sitting and playing Final Fantasy IV trying to get the Mind Flayer summon a long time ago, and I said I had to beat 1,800 of these monsters to have a good chance at getting the drop. So the math was already done for me, because every about 600 or so, there was a good chance that I would get the 5% probability of a drop. But technically, since there was only a 2% chance of a drop happening in the first place, I know, that's weird. There's a 2% chance of a drop happening, and there's a 5% chance it's going to be that drop. You do the math, it's an insane numbers when you start looking at it. Every 600 monsters gave me a better and better chance of it actually happening. So at 1,800, I think, those aren't the right numbers, but there's so many monsters, it's just a good chance of it happening. You get the 5% chance. So a 1 in 20 chance turns into just a mega, it's like 1 in 4,000 or something. It's a dumb number. But I just remember with those, I could kill multiples of those monsters over and over and over, so it goes a lot faster than you think it would happen. But the thing was, I ended up maxing out my level, I think, before I got it. And I knew that was going to happen because it's such a low probability. But when you go and gamble, there are things working against you and things working for you that you don't see. If you come into a blackjack table, you don't know when the one deck ends and another one begins most of the time. Like, so if you're going to count cards, you have to start figuring out when the deck starts, when the table's fresh and that kind of stuff. But if you just come into a game, you don't know where the RNG is sitting, that kind of stuff, you're not going to know. Guild Wars 2, people throwing in thousands and thousands of weapons in the Mystic Forge, trying to get that 0.75% chance of a drop, they don't understand that's not how the loot table works. Yes, there is a percentage chance you're going to get a precursor. So if I throw in 1,000 things, a 0.75% chance will have, or actually more than that, say 100,000 things. Eventually, yes, I will see the 0.75% precursor rate come in. Maybe. But the other thing they don't understand, there are moments to manipulate RNG in anything. As long as you believe you're going to get a precursor, it will happen eventually. No joke. Humans somehow affect technology that way. It has been proven over and over in trials. Scientists don't understand. If something is saying, hey, you got a 1 in 10 chance to do this, but if you just believe that it's going to happen more than that 1 in 10 chance, it will happen more than that 1 in 10 chance. And nobody knows why. Nobody. Not even me. But I always believed I was going to get precursors, and I ended up with 10 of them from various things. World versus world drop, a freaking random drop out in the... I mean, I got like 3 or 4 drops just simply by killing creatures out in the open world, right? Precursor from the Mystic Forge one night when I was trying to Mystic Forge a bunch of just weapons to get out of my inventory and stuff. Like, the thing is, I've never thrown in thousands upon thousands of weapons to get lucky. I just understand that RNG works a very specific way at a very specific moment. And that moment is you have to believe enough. And when you go into it, it's not the 0.75% chance I was trying to go after. It was any of the major drops I was trying to go after. So it would be smarter to throw in 4 staffs because it gives that at a 95% chance of upgrading into an exotic. No. What is it? It's a 95% chance that it'll still be a staff. So you may get a different precursor than the legend, right? But the other thing is they put in other drops that are even just as rare, like the scythe skin and stuff like that. So I remember doing those and getting precursors because I thought if I am going to hit it big, I'm going to get exotics worth more than the rares were probably worth. So that's how I always played it. There's always that 5% chance to get that exotic or whatever back, and that's how I've always played. Get the biggest chance at the items that give you the most value. And so by doing that, I got precursors. But I never just went to the forge and said, it's time to dump in 100,000 weapons here. Never thought, never crossed my mind. Sometimes I'd throw in, 60 weapons because it was actually more lucrative to throw in mithril-based weapons into the forge and get exotics back out that you could sell for 2 or 3 gold. That's it. That's the only reason I did it. And guess what would happen? Sometimes I get precursor. That's it. Like, that's how you should think of anything when you go to play it. Could I actually end up with a lot more value here just in a few rolls than that? Because if I'm playing against the RNG, it's going to take 1,800 tries to even have a good chance at it, and I still may leave empty-handed. That's why when we were playing through the Final Fantasy IV stuff and I got the Goblin and the Bomb summons, I was like, what the hell is this? As an example, it would be like a chance of getting a 1 drop in 100 kills. The drop chance is 1%, is only 63.4%. Yes, there we go. There's the math. That's the math. Streaks of right numbers, yeah. So, where I struggle a lot with my brain is probability sometimes. But I understand the fallacy of numbers enough, because that's really what it is, fallacy of number, that I understand how long it's going to take to get the results. So say that's 63.4% right there. Actually, I think I know the number there for that drop that I was just talking about. It's a 0.1% chance is what it is. So my 600 number wasn't too far off. It's a 0.1% chance that I would get the drop, right? And that's extremely low. But it's no different than the 63.4. That's why I'd have to kill 600 monsters for a certain chance. But the thing was, what I can do with that number, say it is like 634 monsters have to be beaten, right? What I can start looking at then is how many chances does it take for something at a 63 or 64% chance to be hit? And how often would it hit? How many tries? And so a good chance is usually a 1 in 4 chance, technically. It's 1 in 3, 1 in 4 chance. So anytime you can get something by picking door number 2, right? So if you pick a door and then you change the door, you have a higher percentage chance of getting it. That's the idea behind it. So I go from a 33% chance to a 66% chance, just like that. And that's what the math says. But it's not wrong either. It's not wrong. Because math is never wrong. In a video game, the math is never wrong. The RNG will happen. It's just, when is it going to happen? So say I had to kill 634. A 1 in 3 chance would put me at 1,902 monsters to kill, right? And that gives me a 2 in 3 chance of getting it. So that's a good chance. But now that I've killed 1,902, the probability of me getting it in the next 1,902 is much higher than it was 1,902 ago. Because here's the thing. The wrong number can only happen so many times in a percentage chance. So, like when I killed a level 50 jungle boar and got a precursor drop, it wasn't a 0.75% chance. It was actually phenomenally lower than that. Like a 0.0002% chance or something like that. The number was extreme. You would have to kill something like 1 billion of those jungle boars to see the same results. So whatever happened, or if the numbers are different, we didn't know. But the thing was, the chances of that happening, because it was a precursor drop is scaled at level 80. So when you kill something at level 81 or 82, there's actually a higher chance to get a precursor from it. That's why South Sun was known to give you precursors for a while, but something changed and it no longer happened. So what ends up happening is that at level 80, you have that 0.75% chance from any creature to drop it. But if you notice, when new players came into the game and they started killing things and they were getting precursors before level 80, the question is, why is that happening? Because it's on its own loot table at that percentage now. So no matter what, back in the day when I got it, phenomenal odds. But now it's at that 0.75% chance across the board, it seems, or whatever the actual percent chance is. Right? But if it's just pure RNG, and I'm trying to get this Mind Flayer drop from Final Fantasy IV, at 1,902 tries, I have hit three chances at that 63%, say, binary has. Now, some mathematicians and statisticians will be like, that's not how it works. But technically, yes, it is, because I believe in the fact that I have put in 1,902. If I double those chances, I have to get it with an extra 20% chance of getting it. So not only do I get a roll at it at a 63.4% chance, I now get an extra roll at a 20% chance too. And that seems weird. That seems weird when you think about it, but I'm no longer rolling against one number. I'm now rolling against two. I get 2 tries at it. And then at another 1,902, I'm not rolling at a 63.4% chance. I'm now rolling at a 40% chance and a 20% chance behind it. Again, weird, but that's actually how the numbers work out. And this works for every video game, including shinies. So if you're playing Pokemon and there's a 1 in 4,000 whatever chance of getting a shiny, you will actually be able to get a shiny faster by just moving through the Pokemon faster. So the idea is upping your chances is only so much, but if there's a 1 in 4,000 chance, if I go through 12,000 Pokemon, there's a good chance that I have found a shiny Pokemon already, right? And that's a lot of Pokemon to go through in Pokemon if you think about it. But with the way the new games work, people are finding shinies at full odds, and they are like, oh, wow, that's amazing. But it's always been that way. Even at a 1 in 8,000 whatever chance, right? There's still a great chance you can find a Pokemon if you're moving through them. Now, in the Game Boy games where you're running into them one at a time, yes, Generation 3 is what I'm talking about. The chances of finding a shiny is incredibly low. Even if you go through 16,000, 24,000 Pokemon at that rate, it would take you days of time before you find one. But if I can go through, say, groups of 8, 10, 12 at a time, it cuts the time down a lot, and I'm able to find that stuff. So, with that theory in mind, if I'm in Guild Wars 2, and I want a precursor, and I want to do it by killing things, I need to find the place where I can kill the most things at level 80 as fast as possible. And there have been farms that way in the game that have been exploited and then cease to exist anymore. Same thing with tier 6 materials and all that kind of stuff. That is how these statisticians figure out how much gold per hour you can actually earn from an area. So, fun fact, there are AFK farmers in Gandharn, I guarantee, right now. Right now, in either Harathi, no, it's Harathi. If I went to Harathi and I found AFK farmers right now, they would actually be wasting their time. Because in the same 8-hour period that they would farm AFK, I could do it in an hour or less. Probably 40 minutes. I can earn more gold than them in 40 minutes of active play than they can earn in 8 hours AFK. Now, some would be saying, well, you have to sleep, so AFK farming is a great way to earn gold while you can't actively play. I disagree, because what's going to end up happening is you've left your game on for 8 hours. How much did that cost you in electricity? How much energy did you waste? And what if the game crashes? What if your character gets logged out? What if your thing doesn't work? What if your character gets killed? Then you just wasted money and time and all that stuff. And if you die, you have to waypoint, so when you come back, you're losing some off the top anyways. So my whole point to this is Harathi is actually you're not going to believe this. Harathi, if you know the route, which I can't show you because I don't remember it exactly, it's been a while, This map right here is one of the most profitable maps some weeks based off of what you can earn here. So Watchworks Sprockets, when they were like sitting at 2 silver especially, but this map was a 34 gold per hour farm or more if you were actively playing it, killing groups of monsters. And I had one buddy who was doing this farm and pulled out 108 gold per hour because guess what he found? Precursor worth 72 gold. In Harathi! Why? Because he was just killing groups of enemies. He's pulling them together, killing them, moving on. Next thing. And you're like, what's so valuable in there? It's level 35 to 45. You're getting crafting materials all over the place. That's what's happening there. It's insane. They're waiting for increasing specifically RNG for shiny Pokemon. Some kind of chain method. In some games, yes. The newest games, it's 1 in 4,000 and something, and then it gets halved again with the shiny charm, and then the breeding stuff is still there, so you can get it down to like 1 in 512 or something like that. If you ever look at the Final Fantasy games, it's a 1 in 255, I think is what they use system. Like, I have the strategy guide right over here. I could look it up. I remember playing Final Fantasy VIII, and there's like, you have to beat the Adamantoise to get whatever material, but it's not a 1 in 255 chance like the game says. It's a lie. Because since I'm running into 2 of them, it's a 2 in 255 chance now, every single battle, but I'm going to get it pretty much every battle or every other battle. And the reason why that works out that way is because at a lower level, it's not 1 in 255, it's actually a 1 in 4 or something like chance, something like that. And if I'm running into 2, and it's a 1 in 4 chance, it means 50% of the time I'm going to get the material. There's numbers at work that people don't understand sometimes when it comes to RNG. Hence why China passed the law, because people can't do that math in their head or don't have the know-how of how gambling works and things like that. I can always tell you that once you open about 20 Black Lion chests, the value of your keys start to drop at about freaking something like 4% each opening after that. Because there's just a point where you're not going to be earning enough stuff back averagely to even make up for the keys you paid for with gold. So it just ends up eating away at the value of your count unless you get the drops you're looking for or a permanent contract. So permanent contract would change the number drastically up the average, and it would be worth it after that many openings, and the percentage would actually increase up to a certain point. So like, that's the other thing. Your ticket for the lottery has more value at like $1.2 billion if that's the jackpot. It's actually more valuable to go play the lottery at that point than not play it. Because if no one wins that 1.2, it goes up higher, and then you go play again, your ticket is actually worth more than what you're paying for. In fact, someone should be paying you money to buy the ticket at that point, because it's more valuable even after taxes to play the game. Which is crazy to think about. You're just getting to the point where the percentage chance of winning for the cost of the ticket is so damn high for what you're going to get back. But people are like, then why doesn't a millionaire do it that way? Because it costs money to buy every ticket, right? If I could get something at a 100% chance, it's got to be expensive, right? Because what I'm saying is I'm willing to take all the RNG out of something, but let's say you pay $1 for a ticket for that $1 billion chance, that ticket has value, right? That ticket has value. But the moment you buy the, 27 million or whatever it is tickets, what are the chances you're actually going to find the ticket that won? What are the chances that you're going to know you won, first of all? I forget what the percentage chance of the lottery is. But at what point did you devalue the ticket so far that the $1 billion isn't going to cover the RNG cost? And I forget how much the lottery would have to be for you to buy every ticket. But we've done that math before. It's something like 1.8 billion or something. and that's to break even. Which sounds weird, but taxes get taken out. So you're not playing for 1.8 billion. You're playing for a certain percentage of that reward money. But let me tell you, even if you did walk away with an extra like $20 million, it would be worth it then, sure, but I don't know. But for Pokemon shiny chances and stuff, I was just talking base percentage. There's always ways to increase that stuff, and there's tricks to it and everything. I don't know. I've done enough shiny hunting, I should know. Or that, but here's the thing. What is the chance of me, what is the chance of me saying that a Pokemon's going to be shiny, or talking about that Pokemon being shiny, looking a certain way, and then it appearing? Because when I was playing Pokemon, that happened. It was full odds, too. So it was a 1 in 8,000 something, no, 1 in 4,000 something chance, right? So I don't think it's 1 in 8,000 to start. Something affects the stuff, but then having it appear. I don't remember which episode that was, but the I'm pretty sure it was in the thumbnail. But I'm like, yeah, this yellow one, it's just gonna come. It just comes out of the water, and I literally, like, I don't know, 5 minutes later, there it was. And I was like, what? Yeah, we caught it. It's probably one of the greatest things ever in gaming that happened to me. It just didn't feel that way at the time. Also, why do I have that in my inventory? Okay, this is what we're gonna do next, since I'm just rambling on anyways. What do we need to cover? What have we not talked about in a long time? We're not opening Black Lion chests today. I don't think it's worth it. Let's talk legendary armor and all the stuff that goes into it. Does that sound fun? If you are looking to make legendary armor... Green's really loud. If you're looking to make legendary armor, we are about to talk about legendary armor. Oh, yeah. We're going to go over here. We're going to pull up a website really quick. Can you guys give me a moment so I can go use the restroom? It's been 2 hours and 28 minutes, and I drank an entire can of energy drink. So let's take a quick 2-minute break here. This time to get up, stretch, use the restroom, whatever you got to do. Hit that like button if you forgot. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. I know it was like a last-minute show and things like that, but I really wanted to cover stuff. Just talk about Guild Wars 2. I haven't really talked about the upcoming content too much, but this is the moment. So we're going to talk about my goals this year, making World versus World legendary armor, and then PvE legendary armor. We're going to talk about the numbers and things like that, and what I'm able to do now, and what I should be thinking about in the future. So if you're making legendary armor, this may help you. The other thing we're going to talk about is the story stuff, the achievements, and that kind of stuff. Because I wanted to hit 45,000 achievement points. I don't know if I'll do that this year, but I think I will, because it wouldn't be too hard. We're definitely going to hit 44,000. So, but yeah, let's go on a quick break. I will be back shortly. Enjoy the game's music and the sound, and see you soon. Sorry, that took a little bit longer. My wife thought we were talking about opioids. She's yelling at me, saying you shouldn't be talking about opioids on stream, but now we're talking about it. Probably like, what are you talking about, Zork? I don't know. We were talking about percentage chance, RNG, gambling, China's law. I don't know. How did we even get here? Is there anything? I guess it's only gonna. Man, they should really. Hold on. February. There it is. Hold on. No, just that. Is there anything else on this calendar yet? I really hope they put this calendar in the launcher. That'd be really great. If you've not seen the calendar, there's this new calendar thing. There we go. Boop. I believe it is in different languages, but it's based off your browser language. So, I mean, I don't know if it's easier to read a different language or whatever for you, but your browser language is like Spanish or whatever. It should direct you to that website or whatever. Because I think changing it up in the bar doesn't work as far as what I tried. Something like that. The forum still will switch over to the language based off of that, but where is Guild Wars 2 efficiency and why is it in the spot that I should know it's at? Okay, we need to go into crafting. We are looking up World versus World armor, and I can't think of the name of it. Oh no. Okay. Anybody know the name of World versus World armor? /wiki legendary armor. Let's go over some numbers really quick. World versus World armor set. Amazing. It's called Triumphant Heroes armor. I'm not going to make the Mistforged Triumphant Heroes armor because that costs like 10,000. Hold on, let me check. 10,500 tickets. I will make the Triumphant Heroes armor because I like to wear different armor. I do like the base armor, legendary and stuff like that. Usually ends up being on the characters, but I like the outfits and stuff. So fancier legendary armor would not work for me. Also, if you did the World versus World event, you got a big uptick. So the first thing I need to look at when it comes to legendary armor for World versus World is how many tickets do I have? And will I have? I already went past it. It is every time. Up here. I have 8,800. So we have more than enough because it only takes 7,880 tickets. But what I want to do is actually go to Guild Wars 2 efficiency. Astral Acclaim actually works? Why is there an extra one? I didn't realize there was Astral Acclaim up here. And then there's this one down here. What? What? Oh, by the way, I ended up at 21 million karma, and that's not because of Winter's Day. I stopped doing the karma route. I'll be honest. Just did the ones I bought for the day of, and okay. Internet. No, that's Discord. Dang it. Crafting calculator. Thank you. Now I got the name of the armor. Triumphant. Yeah. Okay, so gonna show all of them. Oh, we're making legendary armor. Yeah, we're making legendary armor. I mean, medium armor. They all cost the same. Question. Need face guards, shoulder guards. Triumphant. Face guard? Got it. Add another one. Try. Gonna put in Triumph. Triumphant. Heroes. shoulder. There it is. Triumphant Hero's shoulder guards. Okay. Next one. Triumphant Heroes. Yeah, that one. Sublime Misforged Triumphant. I'm picking the wrong ones. Okay. About to say, it was not expensive. I was picking the Ascended ones, like a chump. Alright, Triumphant. And you can do this on Guild Wars 2 efficiency with the wrist crafting section, and you can keep adding in. This is how we did the 14 legendaries. Guild Wars 2 efficiency is technically an ANET partner run website. Why? Leg guards. Leg guards. There we go. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I just need the feet. I wish I didn't have to type it all the way in. Triumphant Heroes. You know what hurt today? Writing. I had to write my name and other things. My hands were like, what are you doing? Okay. To make Tier 2 Legendary World vs. World armor, it's 2,811 gold. Pasha. Remember when we had to like make 18,000 gold worth of legendary weapons? What a joke. Now, material price, I'll put sell price just to get the worst case scenario. I will use my own materials. The daily cooldowns, I will go ahead and hit buy just to see. Right now, as it is, it will cost me 203 gold and 36 silver and 94 copper to get it done. Without using own materials, it costs 3,023 gold at sell price. It's using 1,600 of my materials. So it's going to use 90 Mystic Clovers. What do I need? I need 1,226 Memories of Battle, which are pretty cheap right now, so I should buy those. I need 20 Carbonized Mithrilium Ingot. Interesting. 20 blended leather sheet and 20 squares of Vabian silk. I also need 1,367 proof of heroics. Uh-oh. But I may not need that. I may not need that last one there. That's a currency, right? So, looks like I'm going to need 20 vials of might, 20 vials of magic, 20 empowered cured thick leather squares. Oh, it's going to use globs of dark matter. Nice. 20 Grandmaster Leather's mark. Okay. And then I can start just buying stuff. Hold on. The Triumphant Hero's face guard just needs that? Some of this stuff is really cheap. I'm sorry you can't see it, but okay. I need 5 gifts of claws, 5 gifts of scales, 5 gifts of bones, 5 gifts of fangs, 5 gifts of condensed might, 5 gifts of blood, venom, totems, dust. Make 5 gifts of condensed magic. I need 6 gifts of war prosperity, and that's where it's going to take 6 gifts of battle. So do I have 6 gifts of battle? How many gifts of battle do I have? Why we're here. Checking this stuff out. Gifts of battle. Let's go to my legendary section. I have 10 gifts of battle, actually. So that's covered. We can make this today, actually. We can make this legendary armor today. Right now. This very moment. Because I actually wonder if I could craft some of this stuff. I need 6 cubes of destabilized dark energy. Six cubes of destabilized. I have 7. I know for a fact I'm going to need more of those. Okay, before I continue, this is what we need to look at. PvE armor. So I need to look up obsidian armor. Because the wiki does have some of it done, but we just don't know what else we may need. So I will need 54 more Mystic Clovers over the 90 I have. So I have 118, so that means 28 of those are done. So this is the stuff I have to look at. I need 600 Provisioners tokens for those two. What does this armor need? So 3,000 Badges of Honor, 1,500 Proof for Heroics. I believe I can use the other Proof for Heroics, but we'll have to see. 600 Spirit Shards, 1,500 Memories of Battle, okay. I need the Triumphant Heroes Face Guard. So I need the Ascended part of these too. Maybe medium armor isn't as accessible as I think it is. Because I need to get the Ascended version of those. Okay, well, looks a lot more complicated. But I'm glad I'm looking at this now. So I think I have most of the major stuff for the World versus World armor. But it is going to compete with the Obsidian armor that's coming in the next major update, which I sort of want to make first. So I will need 3 of each. I need to save that. I clicked the wrong goddamn thing. Oh, leave me alone. I can save this calculator, by the way, and refer to it later. So let me grab that, put it in my notes. Boop. And I can click that link at any point to see all of those items. Okay. World versus World armor. Now, Obsidian armor. Let me close out of Guild Wars 2 efficiency. I do have some of it done. Why? I don't know, because I'm crazy. So I already have a Gift of Mighty Prosperity and a Gift of Magical Prosperity. I need 3 of each, which requires a Gift of Condensed Might and a Condensed Magic. So I need 1 of each of these. Requires the other gifts. So I need to make sure I have 2 more of these. Then, so I don't need 54 Mystic Clovers, because I already have 1 of each of these, so 18 less than that. So 34. Is that math? 34 plus? No, that's not math. 36. 36 plus 18 is 54. Yeah, that's math. So 36 more Mystic Clovers. I have 28. So I need 8 more Mystic Clovers. That's right. I need 8 more Mystic Clovers. God, man. Okay, this goal isn't going to be good enough for all of you. I feel, Ze Highness. I feel, I don't feel Ze Highness. I feel that we're much further along than I realized for both armors combined. I don't see any gifts of craftsmanship, so I just have the gifts of battle. They share the same thing. So 8 more Mystic Clovers will be earned through World versus World, because I'll be playing that. I stopped doing Drizzlewood for the moment, because I don't have materials. So I should check it for the cheapest ones every day, I guess. A gift of research. Now that's right there is where it's going to hurt us. 250 thermocatalytic reagents. Oh, but again, yeah, I don't need 6 of them. I need... What do I need? This is so hard without efficiency. That's why I was using efficiency for the World versus World armor. Okay, hold on. I can figure this out. Everybody, hold on. So, I need 2. And 2. So I need 4 gifts of research. So I need 1,000 thermocatalytic reagents. How many do I have? 124. I don't have enough. I need... I'm guessing that's exotic essence. I need 1,000 exotic essence of luck. And I need 2,000 hydrocatalytic reagents. Which I don't think I have any of those. I forget where they put them too. And it was in a weird spot, wasn't it? Hydrocatalytic reagents? Hydrocatalytic reagents. Right here. So I don't have any of those. Get hydrocatalytic reagents. I need 10 research notes. No. Yeah, it's 50 per 10. Damn it. Why is math? So I need 400. I need 400 times 10, so I need 4,000 research notes. How many research notes do I have? Is that right? Let's get the calculator. Dude, just get the calculator. 2,000 divided by 50 is 40 times 10. No, it can't be 400. What? Can be purchased 50 research notes per 10. Ah, I see my mistake. So I need 200 purchases. I see my problem. I don't know how to read. 200 times 50. I need 10,000 more research notes. That number looks right. I have 813. More than I thought. If I buy the Ascended armor, I could break it down for a good chunk of research notes against it too. So, but research notes, not too scared. Not too scared. They've gotten pretty cheap over time. So, okay, we need 10,000 research notes for those. Got it. The nitty gritty. And that's it. So we need 8 Mystic Clovers, a gift of Condensed Might, a gift of Condensed Magic. How much... So, total, I need to make 6 gifts of Condensed Might and Magic for both armors. Six times 250. What is that? 1,500? So I have more than enough crafting materials for all of that. I am done with crafting materials, technically. That's good news. Some of these actually have been maxing out. I've been selling the totems. I think I had to sell large fangs at some point. I'm maxing out because I can only hold 2,500. Look at all the tier 3s and 4s. Okay, whatever. So yeah, 8 Mystic Clovers, 1 gift of Condensed Might, 1 gift of Condensed Magic, and 10,000 research notes. That is a quarter of the legendary armor, or a quarter of the legendary armor done. I need 6 Eldritch Scrolls. Do I have any of those? No. Alright, so I'm gonna need 6 Eldritch Scrolls, which is 300 Spirit Shards, easily covered. I don't know where we're at on Spirit Shards. Let me take a look. Just keep that open. 5,800, yeah. Spirit Shards, not a worry. Not a single worry, even after 14 legendaries last year. So, I need 12 Amalgamated Cryptus Essences times 6. That's 72. that is done. We have 72 of those. So I am done with the 18,000 Essences of Despair. That it was more than that, right? Because of that 3,600 of the Essences of Triumph, all that. And tons of Ecto. So I need 300 Spirit Shards. I need 50 Obby Shards per, so I need 300 Obby Shards easily covered. We have 2,400 of them. Right here. And 6 cubes of destabilized dark energy. This is where I run into a problem. Because I only have 7 here. I need 6 for both armors. That right? I think so. So I need 5 more cubes of destabilized dark energy, which means I need those, which I have plenty of, because Ascended stuff just gets broken down. But this is where it's going to cost me money. It's 75 stabilizing matrices. And I need 5 more. So multiply that by 5. So it's 375 stabilizing matrices minus, what do I have? 37. Going to put me at 338 is what I need. How much are those going to cost? So a stack of them is going to set me back a whopping 88 gold. And then want to double check my numbers. 88 gold and then 88. So 100 and something gold just for those. So I need 338. Yeah, 338 stabilizing matrices, 300 Obby Shards, and 300 Spirit Shards. So the only thing I need is the 388 stabilizing matrices for the Gifts of Expertise. Double check my storage to make sure I didn't buy one already, because that would be silly. No. Okay. Gift of Stormy Skies. This is where things are going to get interesting, because I need 6 of each map. So I need to map Omnitas? I don't know how to say it. 4 more times. The new map, when that's ready, which should be next time, because that's the only way to make the legendary armor at least get started. I need to map that 6 times. And then I need 6 Gifts of Persistence, which requires 250 unusual coins, static charges, pinches of stardust, and calcified gas. That means I need 1,500 of each of those map currencies, which, great news. I was prepared for that. Got them. The unusual coins, I am way overloaded on those too, right? Where are those kept? Right here. I have nearly 4,000. So that, good. Gift of Persistence times 6, easy. And I think I can buy those from Lear. Should probably go figure out some of this stuff. No, we're not, because we're going to do it after that update comes out. Alright? The reason why I'm looking at some of this stuff now, like the stabilized matrices and stuff like that, I should probably just go ahead and buy. Because some people have not done this work. Where was it? So I need... I don't have to buy it at that price either. I need a stack, for sure. I want to buy it at 33. Solid, right? Let's just put in buy orders. 33, that's 82.5 gold. Place the order, okay? And then I need 88 more. 29. So about 111 gold. Does that sound about right? Something like that. 112 gold. Done. Place that order. If it fills out, it fills out. If it doesn't fill out, then we'll have to keep chasing it. Because really, all I need to do is buy the stuff I don't have, including, what was the other thing I didn't have before it goes back up in price? Memories of Battle. Right here. Need 1,200 more of those. 250. Oh man, what is going on? I put them at just solid 5, so that's 12.5 gold. These used to be like 12 silver apiece. I want you all to know that. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we will reevaluate, because here's the problem. I can't store that many in my bank, first of all. I wish you could store 3,000 of stuff in your bank. I would totally buy 2 more of those expansions for my bank, because a lot of things when you're like doing this, it ends up being 3,000 is the number. 3,000 is the number. And this is one of those circumstances where 3,000 is the goddamn number. Please, just let me do it. If you want my money, ANET, I will give it to you for that, because it just makes things easier. Anyhow, we'll let that fill out. Also, I'm going to be playing more World versus World, so I may not be short 200 and something, and I'm willing to spend the extra gold later. So, what was that? 50 gold for that? Okay, cool. So we were missing that earlier on the list. Shouldn't have put that list away. What am I doing? Who am I? What am I doing? Where did I put that link? Okay. Dork. Jesus. Jesus, take the mouse. Keyboard. What was the other thing that would cost money? The carbonized stuff. Who can make carbonized mithrilium? I don't know what that stuff is. Carbonized? I've seen it before, I swear to God. Alright, anyhow. Let's not worry about that. So, gifts. That looks like we're pretty much covered until we get the maps done. If I can buy the gifts or persistence, probably something I should do. Just so I know it's done. Then I will need 30 cases. Okay. I need... I have to look in here, because you can now put them in here. I need 30 cases of captured lightning. I need 30 cases... No, 30 pouches of stardust. And 30 clots of congealed screams. So the congealed screams are behind. Pouches of stardust. So those map currencies, let's go back and look at them a little bit. So... Every 4 is 1,000. I can get 8. So, the cases of captured lightning, done. Pinches of stardust, let's take a moment here. I can get 5 without going under 1,500. 5, so I need to do some farming for the pinches of stardust. But I also need to map that map 4 more times, so something I should think about. Later on. I'm earning this during that. So right now we are looking good for the first map. The second map is missing some things. Calcified gas, we're way behind. We need 21 more of those. I'm not going to buy them 250 at a time. I'll try to catch the meta as much as possible. And that's the other thing I do. If I catch a meta, I can get a pouch of stardust. Pretty easily. Alright. 250 pinches. So each piece. So obviously I still need the prime currency here, the major currency, and then we're done with the other currencies as long as I don't buy too many of the ones I need. And then anything after, when we're done with this armor too, which is going to be fun. Gotta be fun. I'm hoping it's fun. But anyways, that's the gift of Stormy Skies. So... I don't know if we're going to be able to finish the legendary armor as is. Because what I'm worried about is that if they're still not going to release the full map after the next major update, and then how can we finish this part of the legendary armor? So let's go down to the last piece, which is the Arcanum of Astral Armor. It requires 6 lesser vision crystals for all the pieces there. And then we have to finish the collections. So I actually have to open up my achievements, go down to collections. So this right here, there's 6 of them. And there's an undiscovered item. So obviously there's going to be one more set of armor to unlock. That's what it looks like. Lesser vision crystals. I know, this is getting complicated with the windows. I have 31 of them. Okay, we're fine. I could make all 3 sets of armor and be fine. I also bought the vision crystals. I don't know why. I don't know what to do with vision crystals, but I did it. But anyways. But anyhow. So looking in here, we can see that some stuff is still missing. But this is the stuff I'm talking about for the achievements. Is this Arcanum of Astral stuff right here. So, once I beat the achievements for these, it will open up the ability to buy these with a lesser vision crystal. All of these will be it. My guess is there's still Ascended legendary armor to get. It's not, or the Ascended precursor armor to get. I have no idea what that's going to cost. But my guess is that this is what this is, and we're actually going to get the piece of armor. Because then how would it know which one you're going to get for the legendary armor? Nothing in here says anything of like heavy, medium, or whatever. So I'm guessing create legendary armor, but do you just choose after the fact? That seems risky. Something's missing here. Because I still don't understand how they're going to do that. Because none of the other legendary armor works this way. It already has, like, the medium set. My guess is whatever this is, maybe it's going to show us something, or it is you just pick. I don't know. $3,600 ecto went into this. So, my guess moving forward, says Tier 1 legendary armor is coming in the 2nd patch, and that the map will be completed in the 3rd patch. The gift might be obtainable before the map is complete. I hope so, because that would be weird. I'm guessing there's just the major boss fight won't be open until then, but the rest of the map will be opened up around it. Huh. So far, it just looks like map currency, mapping, and actually buying this stuff. There's not a lot to do here. So we're going to have a legendary armor show in March to finish this, if we can. We'll do it. We'll take a hard look and purchase things during the update. If I can get the legendary armor, then we'll spend a day doing that. If not, then we'll have a day where we go make that legendary armor. The other thing is, I would like to make the World vs. World armor the same day, if I can get both sets done at once. And then you may be asking, Zorik, that means you're going to be done with your major goal of legendary stuff by March. What are you going to do then? Runes and sigils? Which I don't believe in? Just don't think it's necessary? But runes and sigils? Those have just pretty much a base price to them. It just takes gold. Look at all the Super Adventure Box currency. Look at it all. Look at it. We're getting World 3 this year. I know we are. It's going to happen. If we don't get World 3 this year, I'm going to be sad. If I can't run World 3 quickly, I'm going to be sad. Going to end up like World 2, where it's going to take me 40 minutes. That means Super Adventure Box is going to end up taking me like an hour to do every night. Because right now, I think it's about 42 minutes on average for me to run through World 1 and World 2. With the added stuff last year, I think it was closer to 45 to 50 minutes, so maybe over an hour of Super Adventure Box. But it's all to get as many bobble bubbles as possible for the weekly rewards, because it's the cheapest way to do it. You get the Tyrian exchange vouchers. I'm forgetting everything you get in there, but I mean, it's really worth it if you're really good at Super Adventure Box. Get the other stuff they offer in there. Many claim tickets? That's in there. It's always in the weekly stuff. We're gonna go from a festival I don't like to a festival that I really like. Yeah, okay. Look at all this crap. Didn't they add new collections to that too? I don't think I finished them. Ruins of the War Beast. What's those? How close I am to finishing Spirit Crafter. Is it in this one? How many of those I don't have done, but ridiculous. It's not a basic collection, is it? No. Oh, look how close those are. There, look how close those are. So many achievement points inside of here. Which one? I wanted to finish that during Winter's Day, but it just never happened. Coalescence 1 Unbridled. Coalescence 2, the gift. Where's the collection? It's rare. For the relics. There it is. 7 out of 40. Shit. What am I supposed to do about it? It's 10 achievement points. Yeah, I never did that either. Okay. Abomination? Where was I getting these? I already have 4 of them. Abomination? Now we're just looking at this stuff. Wow, they're not that expensive. In fact, I would have to buy them before using a wardrobe unlock, depending on when they update those. That reminds me. We have some of that to look at. That's why my gold is a little low, because I did buy a lot of the cheaper weapons and stuff like that, especially. To get it out of my inventory. So, down towards the bottom of the weapons, I think, is where... Nope, it's all Black Lion stuff. This depends on when they entered the, stuff, but... Look at all that. You know what we should do? I had the anomaly at one point in my hands. Oh, fire's power. All these expensive weapons. Some of these skins have to be cheap. Yeah, they definitely didn't add the other one. The wintergreen weapons? Those still expensive? I never got one of those this year. Pressed the wrong button. Wintergreen. Wintergreen. Well, some of them did get cheap. The hammer's freaking 25 gold. That's the only reason I get gold is to buy the cheap weapons. You know what? I'm willing to part with them. Let's do it. Do a weapon unlock. Ready. My soul is ready. My soul is ready. We ready? 1, 2, 3, open. Dark Matter Rifle. Dark Matter Rifle. Dark... What is this show turning into? Dark Matter Rifle. That was 119 gold skin? Every show I'm making 140 gold plus. Can't stop me. Holy crap. That already filled? Hold on, let's go over here. See what items we got. Okay, so PvE legendary armor, I'm pretty sure we're pretty much set up on. I don't know the best way to map Omnitas, though. So that is all the stabilizing matrices we can do. The excess memories of battle, I'm actually going to put those in the bank. So I have 2,500 something of those. So those already filled out. Nice. I can make those other cubes too. Put them right here because we need this to be a stack. We need this to be a stack right here, and then we're done. And we're done with that for World versus World armor. It was carbonized something. Carbon. Yeah, what is this? What's it take to make this? Lumps of Mithrilium? So I wonder if the other armor is going to take that too. We're making a heavy armor for PvE. We're doing medium armor for World versus World. Again, you can buy these, but the question is, are we going to need these for the next bit of Obsidian armor? For that collection, or is it just going to be based off of the other stuff? So I need to go look at what is there. Blended. Is that on this character? Blended. Yeah. Oh, I can make 20 of these. What? Babylon. We can't look at the silk. Where that? Okay, it doesn't exist. Gift. That. Hold on. How many of these did we need? Why claws so short? What was short on for claws? Everything else is 6 or higher. Some of these are 8. We're missing large claws? Are you kidding me? Oh, and vicious, right? Blood we're short too because we don't have 600. So if I need 6 more of these, I think is what I said. Yeah, because it's counting that. I gotta remember not to double dip. Yeah. So... yeah, I'd rather still do Obsidian armor first than turn around and see what I need for World versus World. I'm not going to stop getting crafting materials no matter what. That's what's going to happen here. I need to convert those other gifts, it looks like. The gift of magic and might need to get removed from my inventory. Probably make the other one now. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need to make one of each of these.
You can never have too much treasure.
I have freaking 800 bones. Must have been from Halloween. And then it's Mystic Forge. Boom. That Mystic Forge. Because then I can actually see when those change over. What did I need to make those? I want to go ahead and get these done. What I want to do. I needed the Mystic Clovers. We were only short 8, so that's not a big deal. I need the Gifts of Craftsmen. I don't need the Provisioners tokens for that. Hold on. Only need 200 more Provisioners tokens? How many Provisioners tokens do I have? 196? I'm 4 short. Alright, get off this character. We're gonna go do this. We're gonna get done with the Gift of Mighty Prosperity and the Gift of Magical Prosperity because it's overlapping on the stuff, and I want to see if I can get the Gift of Expertise out of the way as well. Fastest way to do this. Yeah. If I can buy the Gifts of Expertise, I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way. No matter what the other set of armor or whatever I need for this legendary armor is, I want to make sure I have the legendary armor stuff done as well, because we're going to have to do both, right? So let me go. I need the Mystic Forge Attendant.
You'll find everything you need here.
We need 6 of these. If they have any anywhere. Okay.
Always a pleasure.
Go over this way. Hope you're all following along. Okay. Do. You forged those? Do you forge these? Or can I craft them? Huh? I have to craft those?
Is that all we got?
Be glad
Jeez.
we have a warm meal at all, which is a small blessing in the middle of war.
Small blessing.
That Lear's sitting on a king's ranch with snacks. Have you seen his quarters?
Yeah, I didn't see anything for
The
gift.
wizards are eating the same as us. Boiled bog moss.
What? Gotta be a Mystic Forge, then. Okay. Let's forge it. 6 of those. This. We can get rid of Obby shards doing this? Heck yeah, let's get rid of some Obby shards. I'm trying to avoid maxing out as much as I can. What am I missing? Cubes. Cubes. Okay, so I take this, and this forge. That gives me the gift of expertise, which fills out something in there. I can refill, do it again. That's 2, 3, 4,
Sweet, sweet loot.
5, 6. I can't do it again. I don't have enough of the other stuff. Deposit. Cool. That is done. So that will help me in the future. And the gift of magical prosperity. I need 4. There's a guy here that does it. I see him. I'll convert 4 of my 542 charged quartz crystal for Visioner's tokens. I don't understand. Here. I need 4 of these. Done. Now I'm out of provisioners tokens. I'll continue to buy those. Who knows what I need in the future. So now, with those 4... Oh, but I don't have the research notes. That's what's going to hurt me. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. We can't get it. But I can. I can. Because I can pull these out. So, let me just do this really quick. I am missing 4 more gifts of research. For the clovers, I need 36 clovers. There's 2 of each. We need 9. Yeah, 8 more mystic clovers. Gifts of research. So the thermocatalytic stuff I can buy from any of these people, right? Oh. Chef's not sell thermocatalytic reagents? That sounds broken.
Goodbye.
Who do you sell?
What brings you here?
So... Only 160. Out of what? 2,000. Yeah, God. But I need 1,000 of these. How much is that going to cost me? Hold on. That's not 1,000. That's more than that. You buy these a lot more. So that's 15 gold. Done. Okay, I know the correct character to put this all on. Because the other thing I'm gonna need that I won't be able to get rid of this condensed stuff. So I need 10,000 research notes. I did my math right. Doesn't matter. I'll get as many research notes as possible. Oh, can I buy those? Is the next question. So we are technically done with a quarter of the legendary armor. You. Gift of Stormy Skies. Astro. No, I need a Gift of Persistence. 6 of them. Done. Okay, that needs to go next in the mapping material. Gift of the Astro Ward. So these can be forged. If I see a plus 10 ecto, it can either be crafted or forged. Of research. Who the frick makes a gift of research? Then the forge? It's the forge. This is so close to being done, it's insane. But hold on, this will tell me if it... It is exotic luck. Okay. Nice. Gift of Persistence. That wasn't part of the collection, though? Broken. The only option is destroy. Alright. Six of those. So, technically, we're going to move these around. This here, that there. These all look the same to me. So I need 4 more of these before the next update, more than likely. Because I don't know if lanterns are going to be fun. So these 4 will make the Gift of the Astral Ward. This right here is Legendary Armor, a quarter of it done. I am 10,000 total research notes away from finishing another quarter of the Legendary Armors. So this plus the Gifts of Research, and the only thing I need is 2,000... Wait. Yeah, 2,000 hydrocatalytic reagents. Yeah. That's it. And then we're done. With that. And then the Gift of Stormy Skies is what I was just buying those for. Okay. So, 4 maps of Omnitas, 6 of Neos, and then 30 of the cases of lightning, 30 pouches of Stardust, and 30 clots of Congealed Screams. If I can get all that done, then, and we can map next time, that will be 3/4 of the Legendary Armor done, plus whatever is left for the achievements. To get the final piece, which we can see. We can see these things.
Wait, Mike.
Right? Right here. We can see them. It says it's just a collectible. Or maybe it's just marking it as collectible. But that right there is what we can get. Hold on. No, that's not what I wanted. Go back down to this collection. Legendary Armor. Nothing else I can unlock here, so we're still short on those 2 achievement points. So 27 out of 28. That's the map of Neos. What the hell is this? It's still missing. There's something we're missing. We don't know what it is. So that's the map of Neos? Or did they not unlock... No, those weren't there. I'm not sure. Seems we might need something else for the next bit of Legendary Armor. And I have 6 of the Lesser Vision Crystals, so that's done. Because that's what he's going to ask for here. Somehow. Unless that changes. Or no more. Okay. So the map currencies, now I can look at and sort of do math even better. And check. So yeah, five pouches of Stardust is what I can get there. A lot. I can get 10 cases of lightning here. We only needed 7. So I need 5 more pouches of Stardust. And I have no calcified gas except for those 18. A little bit of a gasp. I had 9. We need 21 more, which would be a lot of those. So the meta, I have no choice but to do the meta for this, or it would take forever. Because I think I can only get about 250 of those, plus whatever the events are. You could farm the events over and over and over again, which aren't terrible. They're pretty quick, but yeah. Okay. So that's where I'm short. Naos is where I'm short, but it's where I need to do the most work because it's not all unlocked. So I'm not too worried about it, but I definitely need to get Omnitas done. Make sure I get the pouches of Stardust for sure. Mapping, I don't know. That might be something we're going to have to look at later. Okay, so I need research notes. Then, with those research notes, I can get rid of those gifts of condensed might and magic, and we can come back and take a look at World versus World armor, which will tell me what I actually need. Because right now I don't know how much crossover there is, but PvE armor shares nothing once it's fully converted with World versus World armor, so I can make sure I can get that done. I think we're going to need more crafting materials, from what I can see. But not the crafting materials, I think. Some tier 6, and I think some tier 5. It says 5 of each. I was short. 1. 2 of them. I'm pretty sure. Harvest. Fun times. This is the future. What we're going to be doing here in like a month. A month from now, a month and about a week, about 5 weeks from now, we are going to be destroying PvE legendary armor. We're absolutely going to be destroying it. Okay, so I need to move to this character right here. So the next festival is the Lunar New Year, okay? Let me move all of that into her inventory. Like so. Because we're going to need 2 stacks of exotic luck. Right there. So I have 19 stacks of exotic luck for the festival, plus 219. I see some other luck here, so probably all 20 stacks of exotic luck. I can spend it, but I need to be careful. Spending too much exotic luck, but I do need to spend some of it because there's way too much. So the only thing, again, that's missing here is the gift of expertise. But yeah. So I need to offload what I'm willing to spend for... Let's spend 10, 11, 12. That looks good, right? That leaves 2,000. 2,000-ish exotic luck. So unless I have miscalculated, but that's why we're keeping that luck, just in case. No. Yeah, I'm already messing it up. I need 4 of these. Alright. I need 4 of these. We'll be fine. Luck just falls out of the sky. So this right here... something I need to get done before the next time. Because there's 2. Hold on, I'm just going to grab it all. Show you how close I am. 4. And then it's 500 hydrocatalytic reagents for the gift. 2 gifts of research for each one. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. That's it. That's it. And then we're done with that. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. If I was able to get 8 clots of congealed screams in the week here, I think I'll be fine. Gonna have to play a little more Guild Wars 2 than I have been. But I'm not doing my alt account, so it's a lot of extra time for me to go do that. I kid you not, I spend about 30 minutes in Naos, and I have 2 clots of congealed screams. So if 30 minutes every day is what I need to do to catch up a little bit, that's easy. Hi, buddy. Hi. Come say hello. Look, everybody. It's Lucky. Where's your brother? Lucky hasn't been feeling good the last couple days, so... probably why he's coming to me since his mother just left. He's like, I don't feel good, man. He's sleeping hard. Did such a good job. You put on the puppy pad. Yes, you did. Good boy. Alright. Anything else I need to look at for the armor? The one thing I didn't need to look at for World vs. World armor was the Memories of Battle. So that... and the stabilizing matrices. Even if I do some fractals, you know, we're always going to need those. So as much as this looks like a mess, and that's crazy how close we are yet so far. You know, getting those essences was terrible. It was grindy, but it wasn't the worst. It's been worse grinds. So I just need to make 5 of those, unless I did my math wrong. You know, thinking about it. I'm gonna need 300 obby shards. No, I need 6. Because you need 6 gifts of war prowess. The headpiece is weird. Yeah. Okay. 1500 and 1500, I see it. But I have made World vs. World armor before. I just had to make sure. Yeah, refresh this really quick. Okay, I'm done with the obby armor for now. See what the calculator says. So 152 gold worth of cost left is what it says. Not exactly sure why it's just having me buy the stuff instead of making it. It must be cheaper to buy it than to make it. So that's something I'm going to have to look at. The carbonized mithrilium and stuff, it will be the next thing I look at, but it's like 150 gold worth of stuff. 226 memories of battle. That's 12 gold right now. That's going to come down a bit because I'll be doing world versus world. So when the time comes, I'll just buy the rest I'll need. If somehow they would have to go up, we're talking gold. They'd have to be worth a gold a piece for me not to be able to just buy them outright. And that's a maybe, depending on what they are. So, I need to figure out the proof of heroics, though. I don't know what's going on with that. What are the proof of heroics spent on? This is our goal, is to get these done. And I need 6 Eldritch Scrolls for this. I need Certificate of Heroics. Okay. Certificate of Heroics. Whatever that is. Go to the Guild Wars 2 wiki. Certif. Fine. Okay, I know that. That is, it requires... Yeah, how do I know... I'm gonna have to look at proof of heroics. Give me a moment. I don't know why there isn't something on the wiki pointing to proof of heroics talking about it. Armistice Bastion requires Heart of Thorns, it says. Do they convert? I don't know. Our currency earned by raking up they were originally tokens are now stored in the account wallet and can be redeemed at heroics notaries near the spawn locations on each map. June 2017 competitive feature pack introduced considerable testimony heroics by being obtainable through skirmish chests. Players can convert consumable proof heroics into wallet currency by double clicking them. Okay, I understand that, but I have testimony of heroics. They must be able to convert, is my guess, but nothing here is talking about that. I don't know. Desert Heroics, Testimony of Jade Heroics. See, this confused me last time too. I don't know. I have to ask my guildies tonight, I guess. We're going to be spending 3,000 badges of honor that I have 31,394 of. I also thought World vs. World armor took Ascended Shards of Glory. Something like that. But I guess not. I'm not going to complain. I'm just pointing it out. I thought maybe more. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna call it a day. We're closing out in 4 hours. Yeah, reset's about to happen as well, so that's cool. Let me go to the loud music. Oh, doing the other song? So, okay, legendary armor. We're at 4,831 achievement points. I want to get to 45,000 achievement points by the end of the year. We're going to get 300 more achievement points this year through annual achievements for festivals. The story achievements are going to add to that, so who knows what I'll have to do to get there or what achievements will come with the new expansion and all that kind of stuff. We'll see how close we get. But the legendary armor, I'm almost done with it, it looks like. So, depending on the major update and whatever precursor thing I need for the legendary armor, might be essences, so I should probably go do the tier 3s and then focus tier 2s when those come out. But, I don't know. I'm trying to think here. Just can't see it really blocking me. Even if I do need to get 6 more amalgamated whatever, yeah, that's not going to be anywhere near the trouble of what the legendary stuff took. 72 of those? I mean, you need a total of 90 of them for the legendary armor. I forget how many we've had to actually spend. But even if it needs the like major map currency, you know, the upgraded ones, then yeah. But interesting. We got a lot of stuff to look forward to today. Or today. Well, yeah, today, because the weekly stuff and all that. There's a lot of content happening. And there's more stuff to come. The January 30th balance update will be interesting as well. We won't have a show on that day. I'll let people play with it, but that'll be interesting because World vs. World Beta will still be going. So there will be a week of major gameplay around those changes. The next update will bring weapon changes. Then the next major update towards the end of February, middle of February, whenever it happens. When that happens, we'll have new weapons. So we're going to be going month to month towards the end of those months with major update changes to skills and what's introduced. After the weapons are introduced for the major update, they're going to have a balance patch after that to help balance it, of course. So we have that coming in March, I think. I don't think they said when the next one was, but just watch that event calendar. Watch that event calendar. Anyways, any mods lurking in chat, I appreciate you. It was fun. Get to go back and take a look at things. I didn't do any of the weekly stuff or anything like that today. We had a lot of discussion, but that's also why I should probably do Guild Wars 2 a little more often. Maybe bonus shows on Saturdays. Supposed to take the Tuesday slot, but who knows. Next major update, I will be playing the story and that thing live. If you want to check that out, be going over the changes. I won't jump in the story right away. And I'm also not planning on trying to rush any of that content or spending long shows on that content. Because it hasn't been really a lot of content, just enough to sort of move things along and that kind of stuff. I haven't even gone back and done any of the strikes or anything like that. It's been there and then gone and that kind of thing. Naos may take a little bit more time moving forward, so yeah. But tomorrow, back into Elden Ring. Should be fun. Should be fun. So hit the like button, subscribe, people. Elden Ring Part 8 will be tomorrow. I'll have that scheduled here soon. So if you want to go ahead and hit the like button early on that show, you can do it. God, I love this screen. Old Lion's Arch. This weekend, I will do the other Guild Wars 2 stuff as well, but this is not live. It'll be on my own time on Sunday and that kind of thing. Trying to think. Yeah. Tomorrow in Elden Ring, we'll be pushing the boss that I've been avoiding and all that kind of stuff. We have just explored as much as we can explore, I think, at this point. Haven't done all the dungeons. I want to go sort of do that stuff, push it a bit, and see what opens up. That's weird. You want to say goodbye to the cubes? Getting so old. I don't think I have anything else. If I missed something today, check the Discord. Always posting things on Discord. I will try to keep up with the information on Discord. Guildies, World versus World tonight. Prepare. Beta. Beta's not okay. Done? Okay, okay, okay. He's like, I want off your lap. Okay. That's it. I don't think I have anything else. My brain's just sort of like overloaded right now, thinking about numbers and stuff, but I gotta stop. Go eat some pizza and then that kind of thing. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. More than you know. We have put in 6 days every week so far. I think. Haven't missed anything. And I will continue that cadence even with the Guild Wars 2 updates and that kind of stuff. I plan on trying to keep up with 6 days for a while until we're pretty deep into February. So, trying to think when I want to take some time off. Maybe I won't, just because. You have a happy evening too, Galka. I know you will. Alright, let's get out of here. So as always, I leave you with this. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. All we got. Have a great night, day, evening, morning, afternoon. Whatever time it is, make it great. If you go to bed, sleep well, get that rest. You will need it. Trust me. If I don't see you for the rest of this weekend, you have a great weekend. I will be playing Elden Ring tomorrow. I'm taking Sunday off myself, so yeah. Should be a good weekend for me. If I don't see you for the rest of this month, stay warm out there. I know it's going to get a little messy. It's going to warm up. It's been cold. And then it's going to get mushy. And then it's going to get cold again. So stay warm, stay dry. Whatever you got to do. Don't forget, if you're looking to buy the game or anything like that, I got support links down below. There's more information always down in doobly-doo or in Discord, so there you go. Anything else I forgot? I don't think so. Have a great rest of your 2024 if I don't see you. The VODs will always be here. Guild Wars 2, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy, whatever I get to this year. Should be there. It should be fun. I'm done. Yeah, pizza. Brain overload. I've talked way too much today. I'm done. I'm gonna go to the DMV. Jesus. It actually wasn't that bad. It was weird. And really smooth. I should be worried. Nah. In the show, sorry. Just in the show. Goodbye, everyone.